Welcome to Rekt Reviews, movies and entertainment analysis using the latest in beer goggle technology. And here are your dubiously qualified hosts, Eric, Paul, and Shark. And Amy.
I always love that opening.
And Shark's not here.
Not here yet.
Not here yet, but he's coming.
He's like Thanos. He comes in the third act.
Yeah, we're doing a WWE move. There's going to be like a whole tag team kind of coming in. So, but yeah, Shark should be here pretty soon.
I think Shark's, from the sound of it, is running drugs from
Mexico
to the airport.
Yeah, so in other words, it's Friday.
Is it?
It is.
I lost track.
Oh, I'm so grateful. I get to sleep in and not have to wake up at 3 a.m.
What is sleeping in, like 7 a.m.?
Yeah, I'll take it though. No, I'll sleep in and then I'll get tired again and fall back asleep. And then
Nothing wrong with day naps.
I'm okay with naps. As long as I don't sleep past 5, then I get kind of cranky and felt like I was slack. But whatever. Hey, it's Friday. We're good. And we all watched Avengers Endgame.
Just like the rest of the world did.
When did we start this? We started this podcast 3 years ago or so.
It was whenever Jurassic World happened.
I was not part of the crew then.
That happened to us.
Yeah. We all needed to complain, and we figured why not do it on the internet.
So the first one was Jurassic World for you guys?
I think so.
Oh, that's awesome. God, yeah. Actually, the first thing with you guys was Guardians of the Galaxy, I think, 2?
Right.
Yeah.
It was at the movie
It was
theater.
Marvel. It was at what, the Angelica?
Angelica, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm just trying to get like a
They
sense
never
of...
asked us back, did they?
No. Someone probably made an ugly scene. So I was just trying to kind of get a sense of how invested we've been, like how many of these...
How many Marvel movies have we done?
How many Marvel movies?
Have we done all of them? We haven't done all of them, right?
No, I don't think we've done all. We've probably skipped like some random Ant-Man here and there.
I don't think we did Ant-Man.
Ant-Man 2.
That was bad.
That was a really bad movie.
That was a
Really? You
bad
guys
movie.
didn't like Ant-Man 2?
No.
Oh, no.
No?
That's one of the worst ones, I think. That's up there with, down there with Thor 2 and Thor and the Captain America's.
Thor was, well...
I need to rewatch it.
Ragnarok is good.
Ragnarok is good.
That was actually
I kind of
good.
enjoyed the first two, but yeah,
This movie will make you want to go back and rewatch all of them, and
It makes you at some point.
Yeah, I actually started with Captain America, the first one. Now I'm on to Winter Soldier, and some of the lines from the movie, I get it now. I totally get it.
There's a lot of callback stuff in
Yeah.
Endgame that like I don't remember this. I'm not like a hardcore enough fan to like know what they're referencing.
Yeah, they could have called this Avengers : fan service.
Yeah,
Basically,
definitely Avengers.
That's
fan
what
service.
this movie is.
It was.
Speaking of fan service or beer service, what are you guys drinking tonight?
I am drinking a Round Hill 2016 California Cabernet.
Ooh,
Committed to sustainability.
Out of a fancy mason jar.
You upgraded.
I've upgraded. No more plastic cups for me.
Well, you're on camera now, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you?
I got a brand to protect.
I am drinking a North Park Beer Company Hop Fu, which is a really amazing IPA.
Is it kind of flowery or florally, or is it more
Tiny?
Ooh, okay.
It's a very standard West Coast IPA. It's one of my favorites.
No,
and do you even drink anymore?
You know what?
Like,
You got...
I feel like
Yeah,
for the last year we've been doing this. You're.
I'm sorry. I've been super tired. Like I get up super early in the morning, and by the time we record, I'm dragging ass. I promise you, the next review, I will bring in liquor. I went with the Starbucks venti ice caramel macchiato. Yeah, I'm a basic B. So, but. And then whenever Shark gets in, I doubt he has anything.
Yeah, he doesn't drink anymore either.
He
always drinks around
he doesn't drink here. He goes to Vegas to drink, which is every weekend. Or every... No, you know what?
When he's not running drugs at the airport.
He doesn't have to drink here. He still has liquor in his system when he's here. So technically he doesn't have to drink here. He's a liquor camel. He'll be all right.
Like how Captain Marvel's, she has alien blood?
Yes.
Like he has just...
Yes. And he wears that suit and just starts plowing. Yeah. He should have been here 15 minutes ago if he had those powers.
That explains the 32 beers in one night that he was
doing. If
he's a camel, he just stores it.
Stores it. He's drunk throughout the whole week. He doesn't need to drink. But yeah, no, next time I will bring something. I actually thought about it. I thought about going downstairs. And Eric's like, yeah, I think they close at 6. I'm like, oh, okay. Guess it wasn't meant to be, but that's okay.
So you just went downstairs now?
No, I was going to, but I didn't.
6, right?
I think they close at 6, but it's okay. I got coffee. If I'm tired, I really should not be drinking.
I just got this down there after 6.
Oh,
no. They were closing right as I was
there you go.
Right,
it's all right, though.
Oh, so you were a jerk and showed up right when they closed.
Oh, you were that guy.
I was there a few minutes before. Just took a while.
Okay. So it's fine.
Yeah, that's okay then. If you were there before 6, then they can't tell you to be like, dude, hurry up.
I'm not a jerk. You're the jerk.
But
all right, so Endgame.
Yes.
So that finally happened.
All right.
Thank God.
We can
Marvel's done, right?
No.
Yeah, no more. They got their 1.5 billion or whatever it was.
We got 1.5 billion last weekend.
And they can stop trying.
They're probably going to make another $1.5 billion this weekend.
I really want to know how much of this money Stan Lee got.
Probably
or his estate.
10 million. Disney got the rest.
Yeah.
Aw. But no, so, I mean...
I know SpiderMan's at, which I'm sure...
Far From Home.
I will see. My wife wants to see it.
I'm going to go watch it because it's SpiderMan. It's one of my favorites.
I like the other Spider-Man movies. I like the 2 Spider-Man movies that I've seen. The animated one and the... I don't know, the one with him in high school.
Yeah.
Homecoming.
And I have questions about that, but I guess we can get into that.
All right.
I don't know. Should we just jump in?
Yeah,
Let's jump in.
All right. I mean, I thought it was fun, but it was fairly flawed movie, but I had a good time watching it.
Same here.
Wow. I liked it.
I think we all liked it. You saw it 3 times, so you really liked
did.
it.
Okay, so I think it's fair to watch it multiple times because it is a 3-hour and 2-minute movie.
And I will tell you right now, I will never watch this again because it is 3 hours.
It didn't feel like it though. I'll say it felt more like maybe 2.5 hours. 3 hours, it did not feel like it.
It didn't feel super long to me, but
the last hour felt like 4 hours.
That was the best hour though.
Oh, it was easily my least favorite.
Really?
The last half. I mean, the last hour was the worst by far.
What part? What part are we talking about?
Whenever,
Spoilers, by the way, guys. We're
just
going to talk
the whole
about
final battle kind of thing.
The final battle was so boring, and the old Captain America sitting on a bench. Shit. Oh my God.
Oh, that's okay.
So, yeah, all that crap.
Oh my God. You are the Clint Eastwood get off my lawn guy for this movie.
No,
you were that guy.
I said the movie opens great. Like I love the opening scene.
Yeah,
like the first 30 minutes, I thought they were great. Like they kill Thanos like super fast. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah. That was confusing a little bit.
That was cool and just kind of like the whole dark mood of it opening up. Like now they got to deal with this.
Yeah, that note that start on was great.
It was really good.
And the scene with Robert Downey Jr. making the voice recording, like all of that really worked for me.
Yeah. The beginning was really, really strong.
Wow. Yeah. I kind of feel the opposite in a way, a little bit. I felt like the beginning was kind of...
Amy's like, just give me like 400 CGI heroes all flying around.
No. Okay, first of all...
I just want to watch noise happen.
Okay, so let me backtrack a little bit. All right, so we're just going to get to it. The scene, how do you pronounce Thor's hammer's name? Is it Moy what?
I think it's called Thor's Hammer.
All right, we'll just do that. So Thor's hammer.
When Chino knows.
Oh. What? Not supposed to.
When Thor's hammer basically okay, so Thor and Thanos are kind of going through that whole battle, whatever. Thor's hammer levitates. And everyone's like, okay, what's going on? And then it moves. And everyone's like, what's going on? And then it ends at Captain America's hands because he is truly pure heart. Everyone loses their shit.
Yeah, my theater blew up at that point.
Yeah. They lost their shit more at that scene than when the portals opened to, like, when you start seeing Black Panther coming. Like, they still lost their shit.
Why is the Wasp there?
The Wasp? Because she disappeared.
Yeah, but she disappeared on a roof.
Oh, she disintegrated. She
disintegrated on a roof, but how does she wind up at the battle? like I get like some of the monk people were at the battle in Wakanda, so I get why Wakanda's there. I get why the planet where Doctor Strange is on. Like I get why those people show up.
She was in a portal, her own little portal.
How is she in a portal?
Like they all came from different portals from different areas.
But who opened up the portal?
When Bruce Banner snapped his fingers, he undid everything. So basically, I
get that. Like everyone came back. I just don't understand how she wound up there.
I think everyone who disintegrated, especially in that, probably got everyone, and then they were all there. That's the best thing I can tell you. I don't know. I'd like to ask Stanley, but he's kind of dead.
And how come Michael Douglas and his wife aren't there then, if she's there?
Because they're not battle ready.
Like, what? How is she battle ready? She wasn't in her suit when she disappeared.
Well, remember, okay, so it's kind of like, doesn't their suits, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't remember it, but you know how Iron Man's suit is now coming out of his skin? It, like, just appears.
I thought that was just him, because of, like, his...
Well, that's how Spider-Man is, too, now.
Well, he made that suit.
I don't know. These are details I don't know, but now I scientifically need to go find.
Well, this is like some of the problems I have with this movie.
Well, it's just like, look at Valkyrie. Where did Valkyrie's horse come from?
I don't know. That's another thing.
So it's these little details that it doesn't matter. All it matters is...
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel like Marvel doesn't give a shit, so
like, no
it
one
kind of
will
bumps
notice.
me out.
Except for Eric. It's like, oh, whatever. Eric can deal with it. He can come up with his own.
It seems fairly important. I don't know.
All right, so
I mean, it's not important that Wasp was there because she didn't do anything.
Okay.
She stood in that woman pose.
All right, so let me just say this. I really This movie, I feel the one thing I appreciate, they took comics from different ages and they put it in this movie, like 90s Smart Hulk. They put in this movie, making Bruce Banner.
I like Smart Hulk.
I do too.
You know, and then
he's easy on the eyes.
Technically, Captain America's supposed to die, but they did a comic, I forgot what portion, where it's old Captain America passing off the torch to Falcon. So they did that. Tony Stark, we knew was supposed to die.
I have a question about that.
Okay, what's up?
No disrespect to Falcon. Like, it's cool there's going to be a black Captain America. I get that.
Right.
But he doesn't have any superpowers. Like, he has a flying suit.
Mm-hmm.
So, is he going to be flying suit man with Captain Shield?
That's a good question. I don't know.
He can't punch anyone any harder unless he's in a suit, right?
He stabs them with his falcony feathers. He just goes.
But he has to have the suit though.
Yeah.
But he's not going to be wearing like a Captain America suit.
He, I believe, is going to be wearing the Captain America suit.
But he's just a dude with a strong shield?
I think so. It's going to be interesting. The reason why I say that, I have to go back in the comics. I believe he is in suit. He's no longer Falcon. It's just like technically Hawkeye is supposed to be also Captain America. So eventually Hawkeye will become Captain America as well.
I hope Hawkeye continues his murdering spree.
What's his name now?
Now that like half the people are back, half those people I'm sure are bad too.
So
right?
His name, they call him what, Ronin, when he's in ninja form? I think that was his name. And I'm like, isn't Ronin in Guardians of the Galaxy?
The blue guy?
Yeah.
You're talking about Quinn's dad?
Yeah, so he went by the name Ronin too. Hawkeye did when he's in ninja form, stabbing everybody in Tokyo. From what I remember, I have to look it up on IMDb. But
I didn't really. I thought everyone. Well, I thought minor complaint. Captain Marvel's hair and Hawkeye's hair could have dealt with both of those.
All right. Okay, all right.
It's like the bad haircut league.
I don't mind Hawkeye's hair. Carol Danvers.
She looks like Hillary Clinton. I didn't need that.
They should have made it more mohawky, kind of like Hawkeye's. Just do a female mohawk. That would. Well,
she had the helmet mohawk thing, which I didn't really dig in her movie.
I liked it, but yeah, she has 90s soccer mom hair. They were just trying to do.
I feel like
homage.
they we don't want to animate hair in space, so we're just gonna have her cut it off.
Oh, good point.
But they did it in the beginning though, so it's kind of like you're on the roll right now.
But they're like, this is taking too long.
We got a deadline. This is really hosing us up.
Look, I appreciate Marvel and Disney paying homage when she had short hair, but they could have done way better with the hair.
I just hope whenever we get Captain Marvel 2 or whatever, let her grow her hair out.
No, it's still.
Or give her a cool haircut.
That's what I'm saying. Give her like a lady mohawk.
You can have cool short hair.
Okay.
I'm not anti-short hair.
Captain Karen.
Damn it, Karen.
Damn, I can't.
I love
She'd
those
like to
Karen
speak to the
memes.
manager.
Shut up, Paul. That's actually, it's brilliant. By the way, Shark should be here in about 5 minutes or less, so we will get his presence. I will say this, the only thing, not the only thing, but one of the things that really did kind of bother me, and I felt it was forced, and it didn't have to be forced.
The last hour?
No, I like the last hour. Was the Go Girl moment when they got all the girl Marvel characters. I get, because it is in a comic. It is one of the covers of a comic they did a while back.
I've heard people saying, like, hey, it looks like it was totally a guy that came up with that idea.
I agree. Because they're like, hey, women will like this Go Girl moment. It's forced. That's the difference. If it wasn't forced, and especially with this whole Me Too movement that happened, it's like, okay, you need to calm your tits. And it didn't have to be forced. You know, it could have been something really cool. It just, and then also, Pepper Potts. What the hell, dude? Like, I knew she battled in Iron Man 3. When did she become on the same stature of these people that have been fighting for so long?
Where is the new baby? Who did she leave the baby with?
Baby suit? The baby Iron Man suit?
That's the one thing was missing, is a baby flying around.
Oh man, no.
baby
Morgan, can we get little Morgan in a little Iron Man suit and just have her buzz around like a little bee? You know, and I actually like the kid. I think it's I Love You 3000. That's gonna be the new thing. It's cute, but I don't know. I liked it. Yeah, I did watch it 3 times. There's a lot of things I missed. Number one, I'm gonna have to repeat it when Shark comes in. So at the end of the funeral, when everyone's kind of paying homage.
You talking about the kid from Iron Man 3?
Thank you very much. Yes.
It took me. I was proud that I figured it out before looking to the internet.
Really?
Like it took me a minute. I'm like, yeah.
You know what? It's like, I didn't think about it. I'm like, first I thought it was an introduction. Maybe it's an introduction to a new Marvel character they haven't, you know, and he's just there, and it's like, oh, who's that kid? And then I was going through Instagram, and someone had a picture, and I'm like, holy shit, it is the kid. So yeah, that was one of them. And then there are actually a few more. I'm just trying to remember. How was your trip to Mexico?
The cops held you up?
Shark is here.
Back. I'm here because I love you all 3,000.
No.
We were just talking about that, actually. And how are you doing, Shark?
I'm good.
Yeah? How was traffic?
Traffic sucked.
Okay. You didn't kill anybody, did you?
Not yet. Probably on the way home.
Okay. Yeah, the day's not over with yet.
Okay.
So we were.
Shark's driving up here thinking, like, if I just snap my fingers and half these people were.
Oh, he has a thing.
But then you just have cars as obstacles. Then.
Oh.
If the cars disappear with the snap, have the cars in the world, I would be more.
If that's your wish, you just gotta.
I want the Infinity Stones and the Infinity Glove so bad.
I know you have it in your truck and you wear it while you're driving, so you can
I
just
really
show
should.
people, like, you know. You good?
We're not saying anything useful, so you really don't need to hear.
We were just talking about little parts that I watched.
We were
it 3
talking about
times.
how the first 2/3 were good and the last third was bad.
They do not like the last hour.
I did not like the last hour. I'm not going to speak for Paul. Paul probably liked it.
I think that still can't hear. Well, you know what? This is fine. So wait a minute. So did we like it?
Everybody likes it.
I love it.
We liked it, although by listening to Eric, I don't think we'd be able ever to tell.
Eric will never watch it again.
All he's been doing is
I thought it was
so far.
I had a good time watching it. I will never watch it again because it's too long.
Yeah. Well, see, this is what I'll say about this movie. So it was really good.
Okay.
And it was a really good way to wrap up the whole this phase of the whole Marvel
phase
thing.
1, but going into phase 2.
Exactly.
It was really good for about an hour.
But I would say, if not for a few things, I would say that it was a perfect movie because I really enjoyed it.
Wow.
Now I can't hear it all.
Oh wow, that was weird. It played.
Oh, we starting over?
Do over. Something in the universe is telling us.
Somebody did this.
Someone snapped their fingers.
We went back in time 20 minutes.
Oh my god. Who has what stone? What the hell?
Don't talk to yourself, otherwise you create a rift.
The creepy stone.
Sorry about that. That's just me being a spaz.
Continue.
Oh, you know what?
Paul was Paul has actually had 3 drinks before this even started. So.
Yeah.
None. I should get some box wine.
Booze,
Now,
foreign wine. Yeah.
I can
good
hear.
now?
Are we back on? Are we?
Yeah,
are we in?
we're on. We just had some music again. Don't worry about it. We're good.
Slight technical difficulty. So anyway,
You want some wine, Shark?
I would love some wine.
I'll get you some.
It's been that kind of day.
It's been that
for
kind
sure.
of day, yeah. But so yes, I would say that except for a couple of flaws, it would be a perfect film.
Was it all the Chinese letters at the bottom of the screen?
Well, that's okay. I originally saw it. I streamed it. Okay, and you can't. I mean,
How dare you? By the way,
You broke my heart when you said that.
Yeah, but I got the gist of the movie. But if you stream it, you're not.
It's a
seeing
disservice.
It. Yeah, very much so.
This is a movie
Just-
you need to see in the theater.
just
Thank you,
pay the
sir.
$12 and go watch it.
Speaking of someone who enjoyed the film, you should see it in the theater.
I did,
Except
see it
for
in theater.
you can walk out after the first 2/3 though.
But no, see, here's I'm going to give you my reasons why it's not a perfect movie. One of those reasons, like I
Does
would
it involve a
love,
bench and an old man sitting on it?
well, I would love to see it again, but it's too damn long. Like
It does not feel like it's 3 hours, though. I will give that credit. It feels maybe about two and a
Feels
half.
longer.
It does not feel like it was
but
3 hours.
it will feel 3 hours if you've already seen it and you already know what's going to happen. Then you're going to be like,
You're talking to a girl that watched it 3 times in the theater.
I would like to see again. Like, listen,
Does the shtick with Tony Stark and his dad get old after? I can't imagine that.
I
after
couldn't
one
watch that
viewing.
more than once.
Yeah.
Now see, it made $1.2 billion in its opening weekend, so that would probably be more if it were not so long, because people would have saw it 2 and 3 times. I think.
Sounds like people are still willing to do it.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think it's got any
They would have
problems
made
making
more
money.
because there would have been more showings, right? Because it's so long.
That's true. That's true.
I get that.
But it was in practically every damn. It's like in theater 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah, like every 20 minutes.
Yeah. So
I was actually.
Hellboy's crying right now.
yeah.
Oh. I was actually looking at the movie times today. Even starting from 2:00 on, theaters are full. You know, so it's still going strong. You know, and this weekend I would not be surprised.
Oh yeah,
if it hits. You know,
this is the second weekend, and I think the theaters will be just as full, damn near,
Oh, for sure.
as they were.
Well, I was telling the guys, so I watched it again yesterday, and I had the most annoying movie experience. I had this guy come in just making side comments like, "Oh, well, I thought everyone would be at work," and this is a 3:00 showing. And I'm like,
why aren't you at work,
mother, first of all,
jackass?
no, I was like in my head, mother effer, it's assigned seating. When you purchase your ticket, you see the theater's full, number one, and it's 3:00. I get off at 2:30. And so he decides to be a loud eater and takes off his shoes and reclines back. I'm like, oh shit.
Oh, no.
I have this
Stinky feet.
stinky feet. And then in
I
front
don't
of
want to
me.
smell popcorn and feet.
Exactly.
It's the
Give,
worst.
give me one or the other.
And then I had a family with 2 little kids, and all credit to the kids. It is a long movie. There are points of the movie where I'm sure they don't understand. They get bored. So they start running up and down the
Don't take a kid
aisle.
to a 3-hour movie.
Yeah. 2 of them running up and down the aisle, reclining back and forth in the chairs. I'm not mad at the kids. I'm mad at the parents not doing shit about
Exactly.
it. So
I would be mad at both.
I was telling him to go, if it was my first time watching this movie, I'd be pissed.
Oh,
But
yeah.
luckily, I'm like, all right, I'm cool. But the last hour, I was telling the guys, the one where everyone lost their shit was when Captain America is worthy and he gets Thor's hammer. People lost their shit more with that than when the portals opened.
Right. Okay. So, first of all, let me touch on this.
Okay.
A guy who's sitting in front of me and eating popcorn and taking his shoes off. I'd get it. I would.
He was
whisper
right
in his
next
ear.
to me.
See, I would whisper in his ear, "Go, dude, listen. I will roll you down this aisle. I know you think I'm playing, but I'm really not. I will do it. Put your shoes on and act like a fucking
Like
human
you're not
being.
at home.
Yeah, you're not at
You're
home.
in a public setting.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
That being said,
It says no
When-
shoes, no shirt, no service.
listen, I'm not a comic book geek. I remember comic books when I was a kid and stuff like that.
Such
I'm not
a
like
geek with this.
but I cheered when Captain America picked up the hammer. I think
Yeah.
that was the coolest. That was the coolest scene in the movie to me.
Yeah.
It's
The
fun.
opening of the portal. Okay, so this could have been better too. Why does every superhero in the Marvel universe have to come out of that damn
I was
portal?
just talking about that. Why is the Wasp there?
I don't know.
It doesn't make any sense.
Wait, no. Why is Gwyneth Paltrow in an Iron Man
We
suit?
were just talking about that before.
Well, that makes way more sense because she did that in Iron Man 3.
Well,
but
she
why?
fought in Iron Man
I hate
3.
her so much.
I know. Okay, so that's what I was saying.
But
Annoying
she's
people in
probably
this
been
movie
doing this
pepper-
for a while. Like that makes sense.
But
to me.
that fighting style, though, if you're going to fight in Iron Man 3 like that, when has she fought since? And she's now up to par with other people that have been fighting. So that's why I'm like, I like her suit. Don't get me wrong. I'm for it. I just thought it was really weird.
Why does she know how to use that suit so well? Why is
Exactly.
she
Thank you.
as
That's
adept
just-
as like, you know?
My guess is she's been. I would assume you married to Tony Stark. You probably have to do this sort of thing.
Now,
Like
this is
that made way more sense to me than the Wasp being there.
the Wasp thing's really bothering Eric.
okay. And why was this is just bad writing, but why was the Wasp like saying yes, Tony and Cap? She's never met them, but yet
Oh yeah, there's a lot of that.
yeah, but she's Cap, and you know
Maybe Paul Rudd told her about it.
yeah.
Remember, Cap
She's read
is,
the papers.
But
She
you know
knows.
what? But
Cap is America's ass, by the way.
okay, dumbest scene ever.
God,
in
That
any
was
movie.
he would
funny.
never say.
Mhm.
He wouldn't. Say,
He
Yeah.
well, yeah, 1940s.
Yeah,
Again,
That's
like
America's
it's like fan service. This is Avengers : fan service.
Yeah,
the movie.
But you know what? See what I'm doing and we're doing now all day long. Like I've been working and I've had my headphones on, and I was actually listening to there's this podcast called Radio Gunk,
Okay.
and they were doing a whole Endgame review, but they're big comic book fan nerds, and they were saying the stupidest shit. They're like, well, how come if you go back in time you can't do? I'm like, asshole. There is no real time travel. Okay, like you guys are. If you guys are that serious about it, then get some money and write your own movie.
Like the movie makes its own rules. Like
Yeah,
it does annoy me that they broke them
Yeah.
at the end, but
but this is what I like. This is why I think this
at
movie is
least
so
it like
good.
developed its own thing.
Marvel finally made an actual movie instead of a cartoon. Like this movie. If you like, what superhero
the
movie?
end battle scene was all cartoon.
Well, they had to have
Right.
that, and at some point it has to be cartoony so people can jump up and act crazy. But which one of these superhero movies has a scene where they're in a therapy session, like, and with a gay guy talking about going on a date?
That's funny.
Like to me, this
No,
was
that was a cool scene.
that was a cool scene. So to me, it was like they finally made a real movie. It just happened to be that they're superheroes.
Well, yeah,
Because-
that was the cool thing about. There's stuff like that in Black Panther, which makes it really good.
Yeah.
and there's stuff like that in Captain Marvel too.
yeah. Now
They're getting better about.
they are finally. Now what I did hate, they didn't give the Hulk anything to do. He's just he's
He's
just
smart
in-
Hulk.
I
He's
like the Hulk
smart.
in
yeah.
this.
But see,
Not
that-
an angry Hulk.
but
I liked when he pretended to be angry.
right. But see that's the thing. So now like this movie
Gratuitous.
is all about like redemption and everybody's all okay with who they are now. That's cool. So now he's smart Hulk and he's cool with being the Hulk. But Thanos kicked his ass in the last movie.
Mm-hmm.
So in this one, I was like, he should have been. I'm like, he's going to be cool Hulk all through the movie. But at the end, when he's actually fighting, he's going to Hulk out and go nuts.
Did we see him?
Yeah.
really
did he do
fight?
anything in the end there?
I don't remember.
They
He
showed him
hulked
running.
out
yeah.
when his woman died.
Well, he threw a bench.
Yeah.
Yeah, he threw a
Too
bench.
bad it wasn't the
that
bitch
was
at the end of the movie.
unexpected. Actually, that was kind of unexpected. I was not expecting Black Widow to die. I knew Tony Stark was going to die. I knew Captain America was going to die, but they did it where he didn't die. They did take it out of a comic
Yeah.
where he is older
too
and he
bad.
is
They should've killed
passing.
him.
No, you know what? I thought they did it right. Because the whole thing, you knew the buildup with Peggy, Carter, and he kind of sees her when he goes back to 1970.
Oh,
it's like
God.
something else is going on with that. And then I went back to watch Captain America, a couple things. When Sam says "on your left," reference
Yeah.
to, I totally forgot about that. The music that they were playing when they were dancing was playing when Captain America met Nick Fury for the first time.
Yeah.
So it's
It was
little
also
things
in
like
his
that.
apartment when Samuel Jackson was in there.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. But there are little things like that I'm like, oh, this movie will make you want to go rewatch the old ones because not everyone's like, I'm gonna go watch Iron Man 1 or the first Thor.
Well, actually, that was very cool too, where they took you back to actual scenes from the other films,
Right.
like the New York fight and all that stuff. I thought that
That was
was
pretty cool.
yeah.
I mean, if you look at the style back then to now,
It was
for
cool
each character,
until Tony talked to his dad.
I still kind of like that.
Well,
I thought it was kind of cool.
well,
It just felt super forced.
with every character, with every one of the main characters in this
I get why
movie,
they did it, but it felt.
Yeah, they fixed them. They like all the angst they've had through every
Look
film.
at Thor.
But like,
Yeah.
By the way, Fat Thor is amazing.
Thor.
Okay,
Fat Thor was funny for about
For-
5
yeah,
minutes.
I didn't-
It got really old.
like
I
it
didn't
got
like
old.
Fat Thor.
But
I did like when Tony called him Lebowski. That shit was funny.
that was funny.
The
And the
great
fact,
joke about that is that Jeff Bridges is in Iron Man 1.
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, that's
so
true.
it's like a homage
Yeah,
to
that's
him in
true.
a way. But no, the one thing I do like, it's kind of like, all right, so you had Captain America. He was kind of rustic. He's shaven now. Thor, they might look. I love Thor Ragnarok, but I thought the short hair and the really weird design was a little not so much Thor. But now they made him like old
he
school
was the
Thor.
Karen.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was. He totally. we were
yellow-
talking about Carol Danvers' haircut. Like she has short hair, but the way they did it makes her look like a Karen or I want to speak to your manager.
I said Hillary Clinton.
Hillary Clinton as well.
I can't remember that's also from the comics where
They
something
made it
happened.
short.
You know, maybe
Yeah.
we don't do things from the comics all the time.
Well, and but they do that for the fanboy,
Right, exactly.
Because like
Bad haircuts
You and I, we looked at it and like, why did she get a haircut?
Well,
but
like, why does she
there's
have
some
short hair?
fanboy who
Most
just got
people
a
watching
raging
this-
hard on.
Yeah, most people watching
because
this
they
are
put that
not
in there.
are people who haven't read comics.
Well, you know what? I think what's going to happen with Captain Marvel 2, I think part of this movie is going to play insight. Because remember, she said, I'm not going to be back for a very long time. We don't know why. How come she's not coming back for a long time? She comes up with short hair.
Yeah.
So I think what's going to happen is what's ever going to happen in Captain Marvel 2 is going to take place of that dead space that happened.
I don't know
in this
about you
movie.
guys,
she's going
but
to come back. She's going to play Fortnite with Thor. He's going to yell at her.
I
and name
loved
it
her.
New Master 69.
I
yeah.
loved Captain Marvel's character in this movie because she was like, yeah, I'm going to kill Thanos, and
I
because
like that she was like,
she was a badass and she knew it.
I like she was like, I got shit to do.
Yeah.
like you guys have Earth handled. I'm going to go
that,
handle all
that
this.
to me
Yeah, that
was
great.
That to
Yeah.
me was one of the greatest lines in there. She was like, "Yeah, this is
Yeah.
not the only planet, and
Yeah.
this shit
Yeah.
is happening everywhere."
That was great. What
Yeah.
pisses me off is that she can fly through his ship, but she can't. But when she punches Thanos, nothing happens.
Yeah. Well, I like the part where Thanos headbutted her and she just looked at him like, "Yeah, what?"
Yeah, motherfucker.
That was nice. But like,
Yeah.
she can shoot lasers at him, but his sword protects it. But his ship goes.
Yeah.
I
I did
don't
not.
know.
I did not like Fat Thor
Okay.
because I think they just went like so.
It was a 5-minute joke that went on way too
Yeah,
long.
and I
Okay.
think they should have just been like, okay, Thor is all morose and like, yeah, he doesn't want to deal with anybody.
Thor yelling at internet
because he
kids is
failed.
great.
That's cool. That's cool. And when he cut off Thanos' head in the beginning, by the way, we did mention there's a lot of spoilers in this for everybody.
Oh yeah,
so-
I already
we
mentioned
did.
it. Yeah, we're
but
good.
when he cut off Thanos' head in the beginning, that was cool.
That was really unexpected because it's kind of like,
The
okay,
first 30
something
minutes
else
are
is going to happen.
phenomenal. Like this movie starts out great. Like that opening scene with Hawkeye. We were just talking about it, but
Oh yeah, people were like, "Oh, wait."
even though the way they filmed it, like the fact that you don't see them dust, they're just
Yeah.
gone. Like
Well-
it's like a scene from a horror movie, sort of.
Well, the daughter, you see the end part.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's kind of
Like,
like,
it's-
yeah. Which
I thought that was
it
really
Okay,
well
now
done.
who here besides Amy teared up in this movie?
You did. You even said you did.
I did, but here's
I
the
teared
thing.
up the second time. I didn't tear up the third time.
I didn't
or the
tear up
first
at
time.
any of the parts where people like because there were
My
some
wife
people,
cried a couple times.
There were some people actually bawling in the theater, and I was like, "What are you like?"
Oh,
like when-
dude, there was a woman in the first showing. She was losing her shit.
I don't get that. Like when Tony Stark died, I was like, "This is not."
It was
crying.
sad, but I was expecting
you
it to
see
happen.
coming. I got choked up a little bit when Tony and SpiderMan kind of.
Oh, that's where I teared up. Yep, when they.
I didn't. I teared
I
up.
didn't tear up.
You have no soul.
I teared up with the part when Ant-Man got
Oh,
ranked.
when he saw his daughter.
When he saw his daughter.
Yeah, that's another part.
But it doesn't matter what movie it is. The father-daughter thing always makes me tear up. I don't know what
That
it
would've
is. Like
worked a little better for me if it was someone other than Paul Rudd. He was trying.
He did good.
I'll give him
He
credit.
did good
He
for
was trying.
Yeah.
actually, when you think about it,
He
he's the
brought it.
actual hero of the movie. He figured
Yeah.
out how to do
No,
all
the
this
rat
shit.
is the actual hero.
Teddy
The
Second.
rat saved the universe.
Yeah, the rat.
Rocket was. I love Rocket.
I love that when
Yeah.
What's his name? Doctor Strange was going through all of the connotations of
Calculations.
and it's like, oh shit, it's the rat.
Yeah.
The rat's what's going to save us.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so did you had to notice the all female Avengers?
Yeah.
when they all came together.
Before you walked in, that was one
what
thing
we were
I did
talking
not
about,
look as a female. I
you
love
think that was
girl
written by a
power.
man?
I think
or a
Amy's
woman?
exact words were "calm your tits."
Yeah, I was like, look, okay, as a female, I love a go girl moment. I'm sure 12-year-old Amy would have been losing her shit. I just think now, since the Me Too movement, don't get me wrong,
It's based off a
everything's
comic book cover,
forced.
right?
It is based on a comic book cover, but the way they did it in the movie just felt super forced. Like with these lines, like she doesn't need help, she has us. It's like you
Also, they
have
didn't
to
do anything, by the way.
They just did what they normally do,
Right.
and I just felt it was forced. You could have done it, but not just kind of like slid it in. Like
it wasn't needed. I think they're setting it up because they're going to do an all-female Avengers probably.
Or
Also,
are they
the
going to
Wasp
try to
shouldn't have been there, by the way.
Huh?
I don't know if I mentioned that, but there's no reason for the
Gwyneth
Wasp to be there.
Paltrow shouldn't even be alive.
Technically,
she's
well,
so annoying.
The Wasp, I'm okay more with the Wasp being there than Gwyneth Paltrow being there.
See,
to be
I'm
honest.
reversed.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And-
That's cool.
One was on the roof. She was on a roof when she disappeared without her suit.
Yeah, now
and all of a
she's
sudden,
back.
and all of a sudden she's here. Makes no sense.
And I
It's
get
magic.
that.
No one portaled
Marvel
her
magic.
in because
It's
there was
Disney
nobody there
mag-
that could.
She's
portal.
a Disney princess. They're all Disney princesses.
I get that Mr. Doctor Strange brings everybody back. I did like the on your left. That was cool.
That actually made me like just hearing Sam's voice. It's like, you get kind of chills. It's like, what the hell? Because at first you can't really understand who it was until he hears Sam. It's like,
But I unlike some of you, I actually like what they did with Captain America at the end. I thought that was cool. They let him go back and live all those years and live his life, and now he's
well,
back.
that's what I'm saying. Like he was technically supposed to die, but in one of the
Which
comics,
Eric shaking his head.
Okay.
He doesn't
like the
that doesn't like the
old-
time rule breaking.
He does not like that. But and then people are like, yeah, I mean, he even he brought Thors
Just him
Hammer.
sitting on a bench. My God.
But
That's
see,
But
okay,
what else is he gonna do? Go boo?
Yeah, but here's so the film school guy in me thinks that from almost every standpoint, this is a perfect movie. It's perfect marketing. It's really good, perfect writing. It's perfect casting. The length is stupid.
But
it's too
you
much.
can't really.
I would
cut
direct you
anything
to the
out,
movie
though.
called
No.
Avengers
But
or Guardians of the Galaxy.
okay, but see,
Considerably better than this.
Robert Downey Jr. said in no uncertain terms he doesn't want to be Iron Man again.
Well, yeah, he's done. Yeah,
Whichever Chris it is,
Chris,
that's
Chris
Evans.
Pine.
Okay,
No,
It's Chris Pine.
Chris Evans. Chris Evans.
It's not Chris Pine.
You're saying the same
It's
thing.
the same guy.
It's the exact same thing.
Yeah, it's the same.
You've never
guy.
seen them together.
Look, there's
It's the exact same
There's
thing.
two Chris's in this movie: Chris Evans and Chris Hemsworth,
And
and I
Chris Pratt.
confuse them
Chris Pratt.
both with Chris Pine
and Chris Pratt.
and
about
fuck,
Chris
there is
Pratt.
okay. so
He's
there's
another
three.
person that needs to go
He doesn't
away.
get a lot to do. That was the one thing I liked is when he's doing his little dance intro and
Yeah.
He's like,
And they're like, oh, this
it looks
guy's an
so
idiot.
stupid from
Yeah. And then and he knocked him out. That was
and then
great.
we see him like from their perspective, not the actual movie perspective when we watched in theaters, and he's. Just
I'll bet you guys any amount of money
Yeah, that was fun.
that at some point, because they didn't kill off Captain America, at some point they're going to bring him back in one of these movies.
He wants out
Yeah, no.
too. though, I think.
He'll be old Captain America.
Old
but,
Cap, we're gonna need your advice.
Yeah, but
Where's this?
we're going to need your advice, and what they're going to do is have something like attack him, and he's going to beat the shit out of a monster or something, even as an old man.
I'll pay to watch that. I want to see.
I mean,
old
they're
men beat up
not
monsters.
going to
I'll
get rid
skip
of him.
it. I'll pass on.
They wouldn't have killed off. They wouldn't have killed off Iron Man if Tony Stark. I mean, if Robert Downey Jr. had not said, "I don't want to do this anymore," they would have
I'm
kept
pretty
him
sure
alive.
they both wanted out, but I'm happy for them. I would love to see them do something else.
Well, here's my thing with Robert Downey Jr. He's never been like a great actor.
No, we're
He-
science.
like,
he can
he-
anchor a scene. Like I was glad this movie was anchored around him because
He's Robert Downey
Who else is
Jr. and
gonna do
everything.
it?
But talk about like probably the best comeback in life ever.
Yeah.
Like,
oh sure
Yeah.
I mean, and like he got like
what?
from what
He
I
had
understand,
drug arrest.
Yeah.
Just
drug arrest, waking
Kiss
up in
Kiss
other
Bang
people's
Bang
homes.
is what made him. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's what got him the part for Iron Man. I
Yeah.
think.
which one?
Kiss Bang Bang.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and I think he's the only one of the actors that.
We can thank Shane Black for all this.
Yeah, well, he took like a salary, but he took most of his money in the back end of this movie. So he's going to be a billionaire his damn self if he's not already.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. So, not counting what he gets for this movie, because he gets a portion, he's getting $75 million plus his pay.
Yeah.
So yeah, he doesn't technically, but he already. I was looking it up.
He
Started
got more
working
than
on
Stan Lee's foundation got.
Yeah. I mean, he's working, and that's sad. That is
like,
super. Okay, what did you all think of the cameo of Stan Lee? I thought it was kind of.
I did not
weak.
catch it.
I liked
Really?
it. He was like the old hippie driving in a car.
Make love, not war,
Make
man.
love, not war. Past,
Oh,
past the
yeah,
military
okay.
base.
It was young Stan Lee.
Yeah, he had long hair, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was okay. It just wasn't. I wasn't like.
I was expecting more of a shout out to him. in
Yeah,
this, to be
I
honest.
thought the biggest one was in Captain Marvel. That
Yeah.
was more
Yeah.
of, and even in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was a lot stronger than, and maybe it was going on after he passed. I don't know, but
I think he had just passed when they did Captain Marvel, so that was like the real.
I guess
big,
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the intro to that one where he's on.
Yeah, where he's
He's on all the images. Of
all the pages. Yeah, that was cool.
That was really cool.
I really wish, honestly, they saved it for this movie instead of Captain Marvel. To be honest with you,
yeah.
Or do it for both.
no. If
No,
you're
they
gonna
should
do
have saved
one,
it
they
for this
should
one.
save-
That was a waste
Yeah.
on Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel's a better movie.
I
than
also wish that they would give him more credit. Like they act like Kevin Feige or Fahey,
I'm
whatever.
gonna watch one again.
Whatever the hell his
With
name
Captain
is.
Marvel.
Yeah, they act like he's like this genius that came up with. Like, no, you're just looking at comic books and telling people, hey, here, take this story and write me a good script, and then he produces it. Stan Lee is the one who came up with all this shit,
Yeah.
and Jack Kirby, they're the ones that did all this.
Jack Kirby's the other guy.
Yeah, they're the ones that
He
did
alive?
all this. Yeah.
Is Jack Kirby alive?
No,
I think he's been dead for a
passed,
while, huh?
Yeah, he passed away way before. The one thing I did recognize, and I totally didn't even think about this. So, Gamora, we know that technically she's dead,
Yeah.
but she comes back. She's part of the past.
2014 Gamora,
You're right.
live and well.
And at the end, when they're searching for her, I didn't even think about it.
The Asgardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, that was right.
So they're going to put Thor and Guardians
Yeah.
of the Galaxy.
I'm all for it.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
It's going to be 2 hours of him and Chris Pratt arguing
Jokes.
with each other
And
making
I'm
jokes.
okay with it, depending how it goes.
Not for 2 hours, but
Yeah.
I'm okay.
No,
with,
not-
I'm
not
okay
for
with
2
the premise,
hours.
but do something with it.
But yeah, so I'm like, ooh, Gamora got snapped back technically because she was part of the evil crew. I didn't even think about that.
I don't know.
to
Did
be
she get
honest.
snapped?
I think she did.
She's not on the ship. I know she's not on the ship at the end.
Because she was part of Thanos' crew, but I mean, granted, she.
I don't think she got snapped though.
I don't know either, but I know that's
Yeah.
going to
I
be the whole
guarantee you
work
they didn't.
part.
They didn't snap
That's
her.
going to be the whole work part of Guardians 3.
It's getting her to join them or something.
I was very surprised
that
that they
just-
killed
that
Black
sounds lame.
Widow.
I was not expecting that. I did kind of tear up on that, and it makes
I didn't because
sense.
I her and Hawkeye. It's like you can both die. It's
What?
like we don't.
Who cares? Yeah.
Yeah, who cares?
And then my problem was, isn't the whole point of that thing is you're supposed to make a willing sacrifice,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
like fight over which one of you is going
But
to be
they
a
didn't
martyr?
know that.
Yeah,
but they didn't know that. So, by the way, what's her name? Her Gamora's sister is a
Nebula.
Nebula.
I appreciate she had a bigger role in this.
Yeah.
She just told them that her, Thanos took her sister and killed her there. They don't understand. Hey, the only way you can get the stone is one of you has to die.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh shit, like this is, for real.
By the way, this is totally off the subject, but James Brolin. I was watching Deadpool 2 last night.
Yeah, Cable.
They keep looking for the next Batman. It should be James Brolin. He'd be a perfect Bruce Wayne, like that brooding, and he's all buff now, and he'd be
He's a thick older guy.
yeah, he'd be perfect
Like-
as Bruce Wayne now.
I don't want him crossing over to the DC realm though.
Well,
He's-
Deadpool is going to be done. I mean, DC's going to be done
we
because they
got-
suck.
we got X-Men now, so
Yeah.
I think they're going to do a Deadpool / X-Men, not counting Dark Phoenix. But
By the way, Disney is the evil empire. So
yeah, no, Disney's become the empire of Star Wars.
So they've got
Like
Star Wars and they've got
Darth
the
Vader.
Marvel and they've got the X-Men.
They have ESPN, they have
Yeah.
Fox.
So now they've taken, or they're slowly taking all of the Marvel, the MCU stuff off of Netflix.
yeah,
like-
because they're going to have their own service.
Because they're
in
going to have their
November.
own service, but they left enough up so it's like, yeah, we want you to see these movies building up to Endgame, and I guarantee you, in a couple of weeks, all that MCU stuff will be gone.
Well, why do you think they canceled Jessica Jones? They
They're
canceled
snapping their
Luke-
fingers.
they're-
Well,
yes.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, they're
Pretty
like,
much.
no. That's why they discontinued those shows because they knew.
Well, Jessica Jones sucked.
Well,
So I knew we were getting
I liked it.
Hawkeye's getting his own show.
Hawkeye
So
and,
like when that scene was
Scarlet
going on, I'm like,
Witch.
oh, you're gonna live because you get your own show. She doesn't get one.
And
Yeah.
Scarlet,
Apparently, she gets a movie though.
Scarlet
Yeah,
Witch
she-
gets
yeah.
her own show
She-
too.
yeah,
I think
Scarlet Witch
Loki
gets her own
does
Because
too.
time and doesn't matter, and there's
Okay.
a rogue Loki.
Do you
want
want to watch a Loki movie?
It depends.
I'll
I'll
watch a
watch
Tom
episode
Hiddleston
1,
miniseries.
yeah, and see where it goes.
Like I like
Loki.
So Hawkeye, he's Ronin now.
I'm not gonna
That's
watch.
why I was getting confused.
I'm not gonna watch a
wasn't
Hawkeye
Ronin
show.
and like
Ronin was in the
Guardians
comics.
2?
And you
No,
wanna see me
Guardians.
shit
The
Well,
other
no,
villain
no,
name
Ronin.
7 episodes.
So Ronin is the name of the villain.
in Guardians 2.
Guardians
That's
2,
why I'm
but-
like it's confusing.
But in
Why
the
are we
comic
using-
books, Hawkeye actually becomes a character named Ronin, which is a masterless samurai. He just runs around killing people.
So let's not have two Marvel characters by the same name. They're
Yeah,
two
well, they
different.
don't- you know what?
It's like only they'd hired a copy editor.
Well, they don't think about that. They're like, yeah, throw it in. Who cares? Like, only fanboys are really going to.
When are we getting a She-Hulk?
I
She-Hulk
want a
movie.
She-Hulk. Who would be a good She-Hulk?
You.
It's gonna no. At work, yes. I'm the red one, actually.
A good She-Hulk. That would be
I would say China if she wasn't dead, but
China would be perfect. Yeah, but
yeah,
she's
she's
dead as Julius Caesar. So
she's little, yeah.
how about what's her name? The UFC chick who
Oh, yeah.
Ronda Rousey.
Ronda Rousey.
They were gonna make her Captain Marvel at first. She was supposed to be Captain
She
Marvel.
can't act
Well, then what makes you think she's gonna act as She-Hulk?
because she'll just
She's
run around
CG.
going.
No, there has to be
You
some
just have to
lines in
voice
there.
act at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, no.
Rousey smash.
All right, I got a few questions before I leave.
All right,
All right.
go for it.
All right, so Captain America goes back and delivers the stones.
hmm
Okay, well, first of all, the stone thing. If I remember correctly, in Guardians, if you hold a stone, you burn to death. But Quill was able to handle it because he's part god, and then like his friends joined up, so they were able to like stand it.
Right.
All right, but like in this movie, everybody can just hold stones.
Well, the Captain America part, I would say that
Pure of heart, if he can do Thor's hammer.
now he's worthy. He can hold the stones. So
He's almost godlike.
actually, that was dumb. They should have had the Hulk go back and do it, but then you wouldn't be able to let Captain America have lived those 50 years. And
I'm going to say
it's-
that's the best answer.
it
It might
smells
not
like
be the
bullshit
right
to me.
answer. It probably is.
They're not like in containers or something?
Well, they're in that briefcase.
It's in a briefcase. It's
I don't-
fine.
But
How do you put them in a briefcase?
How do you give it
shove
back?
it out of the
You
briefcase?
just kick it really fast.
Also, how do you return the soul stone? Do you have to bring like a pregnant lady with you?
No.
Do you have to like give life and return
Wait a
it?
minute. If that was the case, if he takes it back to when it was taken, shouldn't Black Widow still be alive right now then?
okay, but
Well,
see,
then you're fucking up timelines.
yeah, but see, at this
Exactly.
point, you're supposed to be like they're going, yeah, just accept it.
Also,
So,
like
yeah,
when he
yeah.
goes back and he sees the red dude from
Red
Captain
Skull.
America.
Red
yeah.
Skull.
yeah,
What-
I don't get that.
like that. That's. I would have liked to have seen that moment. You probably would have been.
Hey, dude.
What are you doing?
What are you doing here?
Why are you?
Like, did I kill
oh
you?
my god! I totally forgot about that. Yeah.
There's probably quite a bit of that on the cutting room floor somewhere.
I would like to see that.
Maybe you will in another Marvel movie.
I do like what they did. Like, so first of all, they shouldn't have brought all
Did
these
you like-
all these damn heroes.
Did you like Captain America's old Captain America sitting on a bench?
Sitting on a bench was stupid, but I think he should have came back as an old man.
Wouldn't
And
it
then-
have been
and-
great like if he just disappeared and then they just all realized like okay we know what he did.
Yeah, but you have to.
Not everyone is as clever as you.
Yeah,
I would have been
because-
confused.
okay.
No, but then like
No.
he talks to
But now there are fanboys on a podcast going somewhere. Dude, he's going to be back because this is what Cap did, and so that's what they want.
But then he talks to Falcon, and Falcon's like, "Oh, tell me about your woman." He's like, "No, I'm not
I don't-
going to."
I don't think I'm
and,
gonna do
and
that.
then we just are teleported back in time, and we
Yeah.
fucking learn about his woman. I'm like,
well,
come
okay,
on, that's
so
terrible.
you have to throw all of this in. This is one thing.
It was a
that
terrible
has
way to end this movie.
that has always bothered me about all these Avengers movies. So Tony Stark has a suit that makes him like a super guy, and so does Rhodey. He's War Machine. Captain America has powers. Thor has powers.
Falcon.
The Hulk has powers.
Yeah.
What Falcon is doing things that like a normal human is not supposed to do. His suit just makes him fly. It doesn't.
Oh, I
give
just
him
complained about
powers.
this. Like, why is he Captain America when he doesn't have any superpowers?
He's gonna get his
He
ass
doesn't have
kicked
any
so
superpowers.
bad. He's got a
Okay.
like rude awakening
Now-
coming in his first.
Yeah, like he's gonna die as soon as he puts that suit on.
In the first Avengers, Black Widow and Hawkeye are doing things. It's like you be killed. Like there's one point where
She kills people with her hair.
Well, no, she. like,
that's true.
Captain America throws her up in the air, and she just grabs onto to one of the spaceships that's flying by. I'm like, that would yank her arm off. I get it. She's a spy and all that. And she knows how to kill people, but she has no superpowers. Why are they giving them superpowers? Like it doesn't make any sense.
Super ninjas.
Yeah, it's
Super
so
stealthy.
They got
dumb.
moxie. They got the power of moxie.
Yeah, like,
Yeah,
but
Moxie.
Falcon's got a rude awakening. I assume does he still wear the flying suit? And he just has a
I'm gonna
shield?
say no. I think he goes into
But like
his own Captain
the
he's
worst.
not any
Okay,
good
well,
without.
See here.
I'm gonna look this up.
that whole scene when he's talking to Captain America, like I was just looking at the beard. I'm like, that thing is so stupid.
There was a whole thing
It was
about
bothering me
like,
so much.
there was a whole thing about the worst part of the movie was his beard. So-
I couldn't take it.
but I think here's what they're doing. Okay, so in the comics, Black Panther actually becomes Captain America for a little while.
That would be better.
Like
that would make
Black-
more sense.
Yeah, that would have been a better. But I don't know.
But-
I like having Black Panther be Black Panther too.
Well, because it was so Black Panther.
Yeah, I'm all for Black Captain America. Just don't give it to the dude that doesn't have superpowers.
Thank you. Give it to somebody else.
Yeah.
Give it to somebody who does have superpowers.
Superpowers.
Hell, in the final scene,
Maybe
there
they'll
were like
inject
100
him.
heroes.
Is he going to like drink something at the beginning of the new Captain
Maybe
America
they'll
movie?
inject him
And
with the
then-
same shit they injected Chris Evans with. Maybe.
Yeah.
Why don't they inject
They're gonna have
everybody
to.
with that shit then?
That's a very good question. Like, it's like, why don't we just give it all? Because
Yeah.
Thanos is running around snapping fingers and getting rid of
Apparently
everybody.
he's stronger than his starship
Yeah.
because Captain
Actually,
Marvel
it
can
looks
fly through
like-
one but not the other.
So take it back. It looks like Hawkeye still has his wings. He's just in a Captain America suit with his Captain America
Oh
wings.
God, come on.
No, for real.
Okay, and can we also
Why would you
talk
give that?
about?
Why would you give up flight?
Exactly.
Like, you can have the shield, but you got to ditch the wings. No, that's a dumb. That's a
okay,
dumb trade-off.
Can we
He's
also
still
talk
Falcon
about
with a shield.
the stupid ass like Spider-Man?
Wait a minute.
Spider-Man is like the worst character.
No,
in
Spider-Man's
this.
great. What are you talking about?
I hate it
Why?
because he's this whiny little kid, and now all of a sudden he's got this suit that has all this new shit that Tony Stark built for him.
Are you talking about Spider-Man? I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
with the legs coming out of the
I
back.
like that he
and
went
all
into
that.
like
Kill.
death mode, which was like a joke in the last
Well,
one.
that was in the last Infinity War. He had that same suit though, with the spider little thingy things.
I like
Hey,
Peter Parker.
I do too.
I like
Don't
the Peter
talk
Parker
trash
Captain
about him.
Marvel interaction. That was cute.
Hi, Peter Parker.
Yeah,
that was cute.
You got something for me?
I like her because she's just like
she's
I can
great.
kick everybody's ass. So and she's kind of a douchebag, and
She is.
yeah, because but she says
Well, she knows
Great.
she has this huge, like she has the power of the Tesseract.
Well,
Yeah.
she has
Her.
the whole universe to worry about. Like she's
I don't got time for this shit.
Yeah.
You know,
that's why I like when she said,
she's
well,
like, you guys handle Earth. No one else has the Avengers out there. So.
Like,
Well, that's why Rocket's good
yeah,
point.
I mean, it was kind of dumb though, because when Thanos did the snap, like he eliminated half of everybody in the universe.
Yeah.
It wasn't just Earth. Like it wasn't just Earth's problem. And she's just like, ugh, you guys deal with it.
and that's
yeah, she's
another
dealing
thing they
with
did.
everything else.
That's another thing they did
But it was-
very cool. How they made everybody like this is where it was like kind of more a real movie where everybody they like avenged the fallen and all that stuff, and they they had the wall with everybody's name who
This
was
is
gone.
the first
and,
movie
like,
where the name Avengers makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes, and also if you notice, they changed Thanos' character a little because, like in the first one, you can kind of see you can like, well, he's got a point, really, and they even
I
say
didn't
it.
buy any of that
Well,
shit.
no, but they even say it in this movie because
They
Captain
tried to make
America
him
goes,
sympathetic in the last one.
Yeah, they tried to make, but in this
didn't
one, he
work.
was an asshole. He was like, I'm going to enjoy this. But in this one, Captain America even says, he's like, hey, there's more food. The water's cleaner.
Yeah, I hate to say it,
I hate to
but
say it with the guy,
I got here a lot faster with no traffic.
He kind of fixed things up here. So, but I mean, you got to look at it as if Thanos is that powerful, then they never could have beaten him anyway. I was like, it's just there's nothing. They're bringing every hero. If you look closely, Howard the fucking Duck is in it. Like he's one of the comes out of the.
Is he?
the-
Do you see him?
Yeah,
He's a
yeah. I didn't see him in
he's
the
a
movie.
joke
I
at
saw
one
a
of the end
picture.
of
They showed it.
movies.
Yeah,
he's a joke at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy.
yeah.
That's no. I remember that. I just didn't remember if he made a cameo or not.
I don't think he's in this movie, is he?
Yeah, I think in
He
one
is,
of the
but
portals. I
he
didn't see
comes
it.
out of one of the portals with everybody. He's right next to what's her name, Valkyrie on her.
Really?
Yeah, on her.
I'm gonna have to
when
look
she's
at that.
riding
I don't-
Pegasus.
Where's Pegasus?
Yeah,
That's why I was like, where did the horsey come from?
yeah,
You know?
I didn't get that.
Wait, hold up. Hold the phone. So Valkyrie didn't disappear. She's in the new city.
Yeah,
How it comes she's coming out of a portal?
because you're supposed to get Doctor Strange knew what was going on, so he just got all the heroes and brought them there, whether they had
So it's
disappeared
a
or not.
surprise birthday party,
Oh,
basically
that's
what you're saying.
lazy.
Yeah, it's very lazy.
It's very lazy.
It's very lazy.
I guess that explains Wasp then. Why big issue with Wasp.
Wasp shouldn't have been there. It should have been the original Avengers, and they could have, at the end of the movie, you didn't have to have Black Panther and Wasp and all these people. Just put the people who are in. I guess you had to have SpiderMan but just put the people that are fighting that are actually part of the Avengers, and then at the end of the movie with the funeral scene, you can show all of them. They not everybody had to come through the porthole. It could have been.
I love that Marissa Tomei and Nicole.
Michelle
Pfeiffer showed up with no lines.
None.
They're like, we'll
and
pay
like-
you $5 million.
And Natalie Portman for like a
Oh,
second.
yeah.
Yeah.
I guarantee you that was reused footage.
That was reused
She
footage?
didn't even
She was
talk.
at the premiere, though.
And the guy from Iron Man,
sure.
the kid from Iron Man 3. What the hell was he doing
that
there?
was the
He's
other thing.
available.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
No, that when that first happened, I'm like, who is that kid? And I thought maybe it's something that's going to happen in a new Marvel movie. Like, I didn't even think about it because I did.
He'll probably be Iron Man.
Dude, no, I did extra work for Iron Man 3, and this kid was, 12 at the time? So I'm
Yeah.
seeing this kid now, and then I saw a meme, and I'm like, holy shit, it is that kid. Because in the face, I totally see it. I'm like, damn, okay, that's
Iron Man
who the
3
kid
is underrated, by the way. I love Iron Man 3.
I thought that movie sucked ass.
I think it's great.
Okay,
That had one of the
movie-
better character arcs.
If it
And it
had
pisses
a
me off
better
they just
villain,
like, threw it away.
well, if they did better with Mandarin, it could have had potential.
I like the twist with Mandarin.
Where he's like the soccer foodie.
Like
Oh,
the
yeah,
guy,
he's
Guy
just-
Pearce.
He's all fake.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Guy Pearce was boring, but
Yeah, what? And I didn't get that
it was
that whole thing of he turns into fire, and
I have to rewatch it. I don't remember all of
Yeah.
it. Like,
and see, and
Whatever.
that was another. Okay, so they had Gwyneth Paltrow run around in a sports bra, like everybody's supposed to go, ooh, okay. She looks like Opie Taylor, and then
really?
yeah, then she like all of a sudden she puts on the Iron Man suit. She's in
I like
in
her
that
Iron
one.
Man suit, though. I'm not
I-
mad at it. I just don't like Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah,
let's
I
just
don't
be
like Gwyneth
honest.
Paltrow at all. I just
You know, like I
you don't want to
like
buy
that.
her eggs that you
goop.
goop.
Yeah.
You don't want
God.
to buy any of her goop stuff.
Shut that.
That
front
should be her
door.
name, not Gwyneth. It should be Goop.
I do like. I thought it was
Her
kind of
kid
sweet.
Apple?
Oh God. Well, I thought it was kind of sweet when Infinity
Call you Acorn.
Tony Stark and Gwen were talking about he had a dream that she was pregnant and they were going to name the kid after her crazy uncle Morgan, and then they end up having a kid naming it Morgan.
Yeah.
And I thought the daughter was actually really, really sweet. I hope there's Ironheart. There is technically another Iron Man. I just hope.
Do you notice how like Tony Stark in every one of these movies, he's the most narcissistic asshole like ever. Even like when he comes back, when they the ship, he's lost his space and they come back, he's telling Captain America, "Yeah, you weren't there with me."
Oh, he was pissed.
He's like, "Yeah, I was doing other shit. I was over here fighting too."
I couldn't
Like-
remember what was that whole beef about. Why was he so pissed at Captain America?
So he was
They
trying to
fought
find
each
a
other
way.
in Civil War.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that was like 2 movies ago.
Yeah, I don't remember why.
They were
It
just-
Why was
dumb.
he was pissed about Infinity
That
War.
whole movie was dumb. I don't
Well,
know.
okay. Iron Man wanted to do something to protect the world from this. Like
He wanted to
he had the
build
technology.
a
He can
shield.
make like a shield. Captain America was like, no, we can't do that.
Which is dumb because you would block out the sun and then you would die.
Something along, I don't know. And so basically, Tony felt like he had a way of making this right, and Captain kind of prevented that. And he's like, yeah, if we lose, we all lose together. So we lost. And so,
Yeah.
but again, he is sick. He's tired. He is
I like
just,
that he was like I think one of the first things he said was like I lost the boy or the kid.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's like, I
Like-
lost the kid.
That was Wayne.
I was like, oh God. I was like, let's not go back to that. 'Cause
Yeah,
I still bought it.
I enjoyed like half of this movie was anchored on Robert Downey Jr.'s acting as
He's
opposed
such
to
a good actor, though.
compared to like Chris Evans, which I don't mean to shit on Chris
There's
Evans.
not much you can
but like
do
that
with
character
that.
is just boring as shit.
I thought
and
it
you
was-
can't really do anything with
I
him.
thought it was kind of cool that the mom knew that was future Thor, and Thor's like trying to tell her, "No, you're going to die today," and she's
Well,
like,
he's
she didn't
fat,
want to hear it. And
I like the
that-
way she explained that to him. She was like, "I was raised by witches."
Boy,
yeah,
yeah.
I know more
Okay.
than I already know what's up.
and it gave him a little bit of closure, and stuff. And I don't know, like, yeah, there were some parts of the movie it's kind of like, okay, whatever. But as a Marvel fan, this was a great
Like
love
the last
letter.
hour.
I love The Last Tower. It's a love letter to the fans, whether you're a comic reader or you start watching the movies. It was a great send off.
And that's the way. Just because the beginning and the middle. So they started right off with action. Had to do the setup.
Eric got tired of talking about this movie.
You want to tell me about her?
He's like,
no, I don't think I'll do that.
I don't think I will. And then it's like, but
that's right. I'll just show you a clip of it.
So Eric, your overall view of this movie, go.
It was fun.
It was a good time.
I enjoyed it. It's like mid-tier Marvel for me.
Okay.
I will never watch this thing again.
So this is
that's same thing for me. Like I don't have like I don't want to watch it a second and third time. Like
yeah.
I don't have that.
I think eventually you will. Right now, no, probably because it's too much. But eventually, I think one day you'll be like,
no.
Okay.
I mean, I'll watch it again.
Like I'll do it like just for the fuck of it, but not because like I need to.
No, that's what I'm saying. You're eventually going to watch it.
I'll watch it again like I do other movies.
He streams it on his...
Well, no, because it's a good movie.
Well,
I'll
only do it like if I see it on Netflix, but if that's not happening anymore...
It'll never be on Netflix.
It's going to be on the Disney.
But you'll see it because you will have the Disney subscription channel. They're going to
There's like 5 of 7 other Marvel movies I'd watch before this one.
Disney is going to...
Infinity War is better than this
Disney is going to buy... They're going to make it so you won't... I don't know if you guys are basketball or football fans, but I guarantee you, they're going to make it so you can't even watch ESPN unless you buy this subscription channel.
Eventually, they'll just buy Netflix, and then I can watch it.
Eventually, and they're going to be like, "Yeah, do you want to ever watch TV again? Then it has to be Disney."
So what you're saying is,
it's going to be imagine like a Disneyfied Black Mirror.
Oh, it's going to be terrible.
We're already living in.
Wait. So what you're saying is Disney has the gauntlet. So Netflix is one of the Infinity Stones.
There you go.
And so, it's going to buy that. It's going to buy Amazon. Once you get all the Infinity, it's going to snap its fingers, and we're all going to be dead.
The Infinity Stones. That really pisses me off.
I guarantee you, there's a high-ranking executive at Disney
that has
talking to a high-ranking executive at Netflix, going, "Dude, it's inevitable. We're going to get you. So I mean, why don't you just
pair up with us?
Or why don't all you executives here just go ahead and take the $100 million each we're going to give you and give us your service because we're going to take it. We're going to take it over anyway. So.
They're going to be like, "Come play with us, Danny."
Yeah.
Eventually, you're going to go in that room.
Exactly. And I got to be honest. If I were one of the Netflix executives, I'd be like, "Sold. Yeah, I'll take $100 million to go away. The hell with this. Like, I don't want to fight you guys."
Well, now that movies are being nominated for Oscars straight through Netflix. I mean, it's going to be a fight. Disney's going to have to pay so much more.
This is not going to be nominated for an Oscar. Come on.
No. So
I bet you. It will.
Well, wait a minute. We have that Black Panther. Right? Yeah.
That makes sense though. That was a good movie.
So was this one.
This was an all right movie.
I think Black Panther was good. I think it's just a little overrated. That's the problem.
Great.
It was a good movie.
It's better than this movie.
Okay, well, Black Panther. I thought Black Panther was a really good movie.
Yeah, it's better than this movie by at least an hour. I can tell you that right now.
I think the issue is if it wasn't too long, would you feel a little differently about it? If it was 2.5 hours, if it wasn't 3 hours,
if they cut out the bad parts, sure. If they cut out Captain America sitting on a dumb fucking
but they had to though. That's the thing. It's like because as a comic fan, either Captain America is going to die. Or he's going to be passing. He's going to have to pass along the torch.
I'm fine ending his story, but
do you think
this
the bench
is the
scene
worst
was
way
to
end this movie? It left such a bad taste in my mouth.
I think instead of him sitting on the bench, he should have came back in the little porthole like he did, and should have been old, and then they should have all just looked at him and kind of smiled.
I think he should have left maybe some hint of a message or something like, "All right, we get it." And then we move on.
Or perhaps maybe just
Also, we break our own timeline rules.
You know how they have the lockets with the pictures in them?
Yes.
Maybe that should have just came back and it was him and Peggy Carter.
And his ass.
I do kind of like the portal idea because technically you had to give back the time stone.
Yeah.
So maybe, but, of course, he had to deliver all those first and then maybe... But then again, you only have one round, so, I don't know. All right, Eric.
I love you guys.
Eric, we'll see you.
I love you 3,000.
We love you 3,000.
We don't know what we're reviewing next. Don't worry, it's not going to be, it might be
Godzilla.
Marvel. Actually, do you want to do Godzilla?
I'll do Godzilla.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
That movie looks...
Hell no.
That's in November.
Is it? Oh, yeah, because they have to redo it now. Because it's gross.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
I'll see Godzilla. It looks terrible, but
Y'all...
It looks like the good time of terrible.
Okay.
I really want to see Godzilla.
Yeah.
All right, a non-Marvel movie next time when we review it. So.
And
Oh, wait a
I
minute.
assume
No,
we're gonna
no,
do
no, no.
Spider-Man.
When does Brightburn come out?
That's close. I could.
Okay, that
I
movie
cannot
to me,
talk.
that movie looks
I do want to
awesome
see. We can
to me.
do both. Actually,
It looks like it's going to be awesome.
All right, so Brightburn, I can actually
Is
tell
that
you.
Zack Snyder? Is he doing it?
No,
Brightburn?
that is
Or
James Gunn.
Brightburn, yeah.
All right, so
That's the
Brightburn.
evil Superman.
Oh, guess what?
I don't-
Brightburn actually comes out first. It's
I hear
May
Breitbart.
24th.
No,
I'm
no,
sure you're not seeing
Brightburn.
that.
No,
Brightburn.
Brightburn.
Okay. I don't care.
So
I don't know what that
Brightburn-
is.
Yeah.
Is that a superhero shit?
It's,
Well,
an evil,
it's
it's
a
like an
horror
evil,
movie.
evil
Yeah,
Superman.
What if
horror
evil, what
movie.
if Superman came to Earth and he was actually evil,
Killing people.
an evil kid?
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
Okay.
All right, so Brightburn comes out May 24th. Godzilla comes out May 31st.
We'll see them both.
All right.
I'm
We'll
down
wreck
for
'em
both.
both.
Sounds like we have homework.
Oh, come on! You don't want to see a dog's journey on May 17th?
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up.
Detective
All right.
Pikachu.
I'm out on the dust.
go home.
Yeah, enough already with the dog movies. And isn't this the same dog movie as the last dog movie?
But it's a boy dog. Bye, Eric.
Yeah. And it's like I get it. This is like the religious channel movie, isn't
It's
it? Like
the Hallmark Channel.
Yeah, I mean, obviously somebody's going to see these, or they wouldn't keep making them.
It's
but
little kids. Think about it. There's not really a whole lot of kids. Maybe parents don't want it. Okay, you know what? We're not giving in to Disney. This is
Yeah.
bad. We want a wholesome movie where there's no violence, no swearing, no nothing.
Well, I also think with today's kids that like their parents that want that are taking them to see that movie, and those kids are going, "Hey, where's the capes?"
Actually, I would be pissed if I was a kid. If my friends are watching Marvel and my mom's taking me to watch this dog movie, I'd be a little pissed off.
We got a comment on Facebook.
What's that?
Suggestion for Shark. The next one he will love is Aladdin.
Are we going to
No.
go watch that?
I will not see
Come
that
on,
movie.
we can sing a whole new world.
Okay, so it's a musical first, which I can't stand.
There's probably going to be a rap in it. It's probably going to be
Oh,
It's
there
Will
will be.
Smith.
Fresh
There will
Prince.
be.
It's
Fresh
like
Prince
summer,
rap.
summer.
Okay.
You saw my blinker,
You got a
bitch.
friend like
Can you watch 2 hours of manic Will Smith as the genie? I can't, and I actually like Will Smith. I think Will Smith is a pretty good actor.
Oh, what about Gemini Man? Switching gears.
Okay,
That
looks good,
It looks
but
okay.
it looks okay, but it's a story. It's an old movie. It's a remake.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's a remake. So
Fun fact, I didn't know.
Yeah, and I'm going to show you because you guys are never going to believe this. But I started
He's
writing.
Will Smith.
No, I started writing a story like that years ago, and the only way I'm going to be able to prove
What,
it to
Aladdin?
you. No. But it's called the Gemini phase, and I actually have all my notes and stuff, and it's basically the same thing. It's a guy who doesn't, but this is like a clone. This is a guy who doesn't know. He just starts like when somebody attacks him, he's able to fend them off and fight, and it's kind of like the Bourne Identity sort of thing. But I wrote it long before any of that came out.
How far did you get? This is a script, or
It's a script. Yeah, I actually have like 25 pages. Yeah, but it's in the bottom of my closet, and like a whole bunch of other shit.
Can I just say this? I don't know how I feel about the CGI Will Smith face. That looks a little weird.
I also don't see he's going to have to outdo Robin Williams as the genie.
Well, no. I was talking about Gemini Man.
Oh yeah, well,
okay, we all know there's no way he can take Robin Williams' spot. Like, this whole movie cannot take the animation spot.
I think that he's the only one that could have done it because he's just as manic as Robin Williams.
Well, okay, it's like Solo, right? It's hard to find a Harrison Ford who would be Harrison Ford at that age.
Yeah.
They went with the best person, which is not the best. It didn't work out,
Not a
but
good
they
actor.
went with the best one. I think that's so. Here's the thing: they showed the Aladdin trailer and they showed the Lion King trailer. I would be 100% more for the Lion King.
Absolutely.
It
me
looks
too.
way better.
It does.
And Aladdin, there's so many things that kind of depart from the movie. It's kind of like, ooh, I'm still going to watch it because I want to see how bad it's going to be. But it's like these remakes, like Cinderella was
Amy's going to
meh.
be sitting there cutting herself the whole movie.
I'm going to be making comments so hard. I'm going to have to duct tape my mouth before I go in there.
Well, you know
I know
what?
It's gonna
So they
happen.
keep calling the Lion King is not live action. Is what
It's
they
not,
keep
but
calling
they're
it.
like, it's animals. Of course, you can't train a little lion
And
cub
see,
to do all this
for the
shit.
record, I don't think I saw the complete first Aladdin because I don't like musicals. I can't. I just can't.
You watched Aladdin, though, right?
No.
Have you watched any Disney movie thoroughly?
The Lion King, maybe. And
I
that's
thought you didn't watch it fully, though.
No. I fully watched The Lion King
Okay.
and actually liked it, but I had to be forced to watch it the first time.
Okay.
And I was like, this is okay. Aladdin, because I rest in peace, dude, but I hated Robin Williams with a passion.
I did too.
I never thought Robin Williams was never funny.
I really liked him in dramas. He was amazing in dramas.
Because, you know what,
I never thought he was
these weird
funny.
Comedians are really good dramatic actors because they're so weird.
Dude, Awakenings, Good Will Hunting, amazing movies.
He's great in those movies, but when he tries to be funny, it's just annoying.
It is.
It's just annoying as hell. Yeah,
I'm with you.
Well, see, I'm viewing this as when the movie came out, I was 12 or 13. So for me, it's a little different. You know, I'm not viewing because
I was
of
like
course,
30.
Exactly. I know you're so old, but I mean,
he could see through the veil. You couldn't. You were too young.
No, but it's like even back then, like what Mork and Mindy, like thinking of Jumanji, you know, was kind of serious, but there was some comedy little things in it. I worked at the movie theater when that came out. No, thank you.
Let me tell you this.
Night at the Museum. Those movies are horrible.
Never saw
them.
I mean,
they're for 6-year-olds. If you're 6,
that's
it's
what
great.
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
So,
like, you know,
you do know that Kevin Hart was actually one of the people in consideration for the genie in Aladdin.
No.
And let me tell you something. I would have went to the theater and burned it down. Because Kevin Hart. I can't stand
you know
Kevin
what?
Hart,
they could have made it The Rock. I would have watched it if they made it Dwayne Johnson. But he did Moana, so it's like so close. You can't have really two things.
Dwayne Johnson would be a little more kind of serious. Like I said, I think Will Smith is a good actor. I don't think he's funny. He's not funny at all.
I don't know. I just think there are some movies of Disney that not every Disney movie needs to be redone in a live sense. You know what I mean? And Aladdin's just one of those. Lion King is doable, just like Jungle Book. Jungle Book was really good.
But then they did Mowgli. It's the same thing. Why they
No, Jungle Book. They didn't do Mowgli.
Yeah, there's a Mowgli movie.
But it didn't go in theaters though, like that.
It didn't?
No.
I'm gonna look that up.
You do that.
I think it did, but
I could be wrong too.
This is the filmmaking world we live in now, where they're we're not going to do anything new. We're just going to remake everything.
It's the Tinder of movie making. You just swipe right.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know, you just kind of have funny. One of my apps went off when that was actually really good timing. No, it's just.
Are you swiping right?
No, I probably
you
did.
got a match.
I got a match. No, it's like, okay, we can't create new content. Let's just remake everything. That will give. It's like Dumbo. Yeah, I have no desire to watch Dumbo.
See, Mowgli. That
never went in the theater like that.
Yeah,
that's like straight to
DVD. It may have not come out yet.
I'm making a prediction that the next batch of like 80s remakes is going to be like body swapping movies.
Wow. Okay, wait. Remake, I'm gonna predict they're gonna remake
Big.
Weird Science.
Big.
They already did with that new one with the girl in it.
It's called Little. Yeah, it's called Little.
Yeah, they already did that.
Yeah, they did that.
They're gonna remake all the John Hughes, like 16 Candles. They're gonna remake all that shit.
Okay, now, so those John Hughes movies are classics.
Exactly. Don't fuck with it.
But yeah, don't fuck with it. You can't remake those now because they're going to try to make it for now where it's all the social media stuff, and it's going to be
technically they couldn't. Remember when they remade Can't Buy Me Love in a sense a few years back
with Nick Cannon?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that didn't go very well.
None of them are going to go very well. But again,
that's the lazy way of making quick money. It's like if you remember this movie. I love how we talk about Marvel and we go into this mess, but that's what happens.
But see, that's the thing with Disney. With all the money that they have, okay, which is unlimited.
Toy Story 3.
They could hire some, like there's several scripts out there, and they've got people reading them. Somewhere there's a really good script. They could say, "Hey, we can make this."
They need to hire Jordan Peele,
but it's not going to make $1.2 billion, so we're not going to do it.
Well, think about it. Half of that is based on it's Marvel alone. It's not so much a Disney, but it's Marvel, and a lot of it is adults. We didn't have this shit. You know this, Sharp. We didn't have this shit when we were a kid.
No.
We had really crappy 80s TV shows of these heroes and stuff like that.
Like what has Disney actually made that's been original in the past 10 years? Frozen? That's it?
I know Lion King's not original, and Aladdin's not original. Beauty and the Beast is not original. Moana, maybe. Well, is Moana original?
But those are just like that's a
like all they do is buy
that's
shit.
Like a story, but they just put it in a different place.
I love Disney, but that is like with Lion King. That was actually based on I think a South Asian anime cartoon,
probably,
and they took it. And
do they have Harry Potter? Is that
no? That's Warner Brothers.
Okay, I've never seen Harry Potter, by the way. Not
I think
one
you
of
would
them.
like it.
Probably not.
I think you might like it.
I just when there's a bunch of kids,
A bunch of white people. That's what it is, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like, but I like Game of Thrones.
Oh God, I can't wait for tomorrow. What?
Who said they were? Eric was an episode behind, right?
Yeah, we didn't
You're
talk
caught
about
up?
it. Yeah, that's why we didn't talk about it.
Are you caught up?
I'm caught up. Yeah.
I'm too.
Speaking of Game of
I'm
Thrones,
good.
you know who the luckiest actor in the history of television is the kid who plays Bran Stark. Because all he does is sit in a chair and stare off into space. And he's probably getting paid so much money. He barely has lines.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I saw a meme on it. He goes, "I have to go now," and the meme shows him in the theater watching Avengers. No, okay, so this
Arya Stark's a badass.
Okay,
she is a badass,
dude. I think my boss wants to name his next kid Macy Williams Tiglau. He loves Arya is a badass, but I think there's certain things for this episode. I'm not going to say she shouldn't take credit for, but it's it's now becoming around her. This whole thing is based around her.
I think the books are like that though.
They're not.
Okay.
So someone who watches the show he's like, no, at this point, technically the Ice King or whatever, he's not dead.
Yeah.
He's not dead yet. The books are still continuing, but what happened?
They've departed from the books, I think, a long time
A
ago.
long time ago.
But listen, I like
because they got to wrap it up, and the books are still not done.
So they're only doing 6 episodes, right?
Right.
So
We're halfway there now.
Yeah, we're halfway there. Because so what they did was,
I like how spoiler alert that Cersei's like a bigger danger than the Night King.
That was unexpected though. He died. I was not expecting all that shit to end.
You know what I did, and here's the only reason why: because the series has grown to where it was kind of supposed to. In the books, I'm sure it kind of ends because I've never read the books.
Me neither.
But I would think it ends with the Night King dying, or them then having the battle with the army of the dead. But that show has gotten so popular, and Cersei is so hated that they're like, okay, let's wrap up this army of the dead thing, and now let's have Cersei getting her ass kicked.
Well, so that was my point. I didn't think this would all finish in one episode. I thought it would. Yeah. It continue maybe.
Yeah,
that was a surprise. I thought because they were getting their ass kicked. They were done. I thought they were going to end it there, and then this week,
dude, how creepy. Okay, now we have to whenever there is a zombie apocalypse and the possibility of someone raising the dead, never hide in a crypt. Because
that's where the dead are.
But who would have thought he would have not? Okay, first of all, there's 2 badasses in this episode. Okay, we got Macy Williams, but that other little girl from
she is a badass.
She went hard.
Yeah, she went. But if you I've watched Game of Thrones on the I'd say the last 3 seasons. It took me a while to get into it, and I still don't know really who's who because I never watched it from the beginning.
Right.
I just got into it, so it's pretty cool. But through every season, that little girl has been a badass because she runs shit and she's 10 years old.
She's kind of like the Captain Marvel of look, I don't got time for this shit. Let's just do what we need to do and what we need to get this done. And my mother wasn't a good looking woman, but she was a great warrior.
And I'm always fascinated that somebody can pull that type of acting out of a child,
out of a kid,
right?
Yeah, that because she looks serious, she's like, yeah, don't fuck with me.
Can I say one thing though, Sam? I love Sam, but he was really pissing me off.
He was a bitch.
He was really. How many people have died just to protect him? And it's like, dude, you were part of the Night's Watch. You did fight against these guys before. That should have given you a little bit more confidence. Everyone's in the same boat. But it was stupid though that when they had the front lines going on, what is Dany's clan, her soldier's name?
The Unsullied.
The Unsullied, yeah.
Isn't no, not the
or the Dothraki?
Dothraki.
Oh.
Yeah.
They charge into the black.
Mm-hmm.
I know they have the light ups. They didn't have to charge.
But they're crazy. They're like
But they're dead.
They're all dead now. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. But anyway, Sam pissed me off. He was really making me mad.
Okay, so they have to at some point.
At least he wasn't hiding in the crypt.
Yeah, I think he's gonna die. But he's gonna go out real hard, he's gonna finally stop being a bitch. Yeah,
he'll be fine.
He's gonna survive, but other people are gonna sacrifice their life for him. I think he has a bigger part he's gonna play. I don't think he's gonna die.
I think they should have so many people have died trying to save him.
That's what I'm saying.
That like when seeing him get attacked, just let him die, and then let him become one of the dead, and then cut his head off like they do the other ones, and just be done with it. Because he screams like a little girl through the whole thing. It's just like it's annoying to see.
So can I say this? The best moment is when Danny, her drive. By the way, okay, I have another question. I have so many things. When she sees the Night King, and is it the Night King? Is that his name?
The Night King, yes.
All right. She says her verbiage for the dragon to barbecue
Dracarys.
him. Right. So she's like, okay, he's dead. He looks at her with a fuck you smirk.
Yeah.
And he just keeps walking. I'm like, that actually was my favorite part on
because,
that.
So I think that's like the fanboys were talking about this. Like they're saying that he might be related to her because she can't be burned either. Like she walks through fire and shit.
So Tu, who our ex co-host,
hey, Tu.
She actually she had a great theory that in this episode she's like, I think what's going to happen is Jon is going to be, because he revealed that he's whatever Targaryen, that he's going to be surrounded by a bunch of White Walker, and Daenerys is going to Dracarys the shit out of everyone, including him, as a way to burn them and also test if he's really telling the truth.
I like that.
And they set that scene up, and I thought it was going to happen. I'm like, oh my God, Tu was right. This is great. And then she just kind of like surgically burns around him and it never touches him. I'm like, oh, come on.
I thought that Bran Stark was going to end up being the Night King.
I think everyone did. I mean, there's a possibility he might still have a relation to it. You know, it does. I don't think that those guys are done yet. I think there's still something that's missing, because think about it, we have 3 more episodes left. That's going to be all 3 episodes, an hour and a half dealing with Cersei. You know what I mean? Like, no, there's something else that's going to be hidden, or we're going to have another whoa, what the F moment.
I think there was some foreshadowing because Tyrion said that he wouldn't mind becoming one of the army of the dead and then ripping Cersei apart when they attack them. I think he's going to kill her. Because
really?
Good call.
Because like through the entire series, she has just treated him like absolute shit.
Oh, she tried to kill him many times.
Yeah, just like absolute shit. I think he's going to be the one that puts a knife in her heart.
Yeah.
And that's going to probably
either
be
that or it's going to have to be Jaime.
Or Jaime.
Yeah.
Ooh,
or Jaime.
Who would you want?
My favorite
I was
scene.
thinking Jaime.
My favorite scene is when Jaime gets to the fort and he turns around and he sees Bran sitting there, and
Bran's like, "Hey, bitch."
He's like, "Yeah, motherfucker, I'm still here."
Oh, I saw. Did I mention this on the last podcast? I saw a great meme with that where the whole scene where Jaime looks at Bran and Bran's looking at him, and then Bran's like in the chair and he's like, "Can you give me a push?"
No, you didn't say. I don't think we talked about it last podcast. You know what? It would be like, why don't we just? I don't know. We should just come back. Actually, that's what I was going to say. Let's, since the next movie is going to be a couple weeks.
Yeah, we should do a Game of Thrones.
Why don't we do like
up.
a Game of Thrones? Let's do another one and then do a wrap up.
By the way,
of it.
all of you out there, first, so this is what I don't get. So if you don't like Game of Thrones, that's fine. Why are people talking shit about people who do like the show?
Because people, you should know the shark in general doesn't. Someone always has to wreck someone's happiness for no reason at all.
But I think here's what I think is stupid about it. Those same people, they're like, I have never watched Game of Thrones and blah, 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 blah. But then they talk about the show, about the characters. It's like, you know what? You are sitting at home watching this show and you're trying to act like you're cool and not watching. It's just like nobody seems to watch porn, but it's $1 billion industry.
Don't you know this world is full of hypocrites?
Yes.
I mean,
Complete jackasses.
I mean, it's a fun show. It's about to end, and then we'll have a prequel, I'm sure, show. It's not going to be as strong, but whatever. I told you the funniest thing I heard. I think they were comedians talking about when the guy said, do you watch Game of Thrones? And the dude goes, nah, man. He goes, why not? He goes, bunch of white people in the Middle Ages with incest and dragons. He's like, nah, hell no. Like, you know what I noticed?
He said, take that shit back to Blockbuster.
Dude, I noticed a lot of the sex scenes had toned down since last season. Like,
it
went strong. For the first, what season are we at? 9? How many seasons?
8.
Oh, crap.
Well, hell, listen. Just as a man, it was good to watch in the beginning. It's like there's a lot of naked women.
It was full frontal and it was soft core.
Yeah.
I mean,
there was a little Arya Stark action last.
Okay,
last episode.
let's talk. All right, whoa. Okay, let's talk about this.
Got some side boob there.
No shit.
How old is she? How old is?
Oh wait, Jens, hold up. I'm happy for her. she had a crush on this guy for a while. You can tell she is definitely the dom, whatever. I feel a little uncomfortable with it.
That was a little weird.
I'm a little weird.
It was a little disgusting.
I didn't want to see her booty.
I don't know how old she's supposed to be, but Macy Williams looks like a kid.
So Macy Williams, I think, is like, I think she's 20 in real life, but in the book, but in the book, I think she's only supposed to be 13 or 14.
Yeah, see, that's not cool. But, even though, if you think about it, it was the Middle Ages, so 13-year-old girls were
having kids already.
But we were watching this when she was like, what, 8 or 9? So it's like, I'm
disturbing.
happy for her. It's like, get some girl. I'm glad they didn't go further than that, and I think they knew that. But also, I think she was just like, look, Sansa technically had some scenes, and Dan, she kind of wanted to go off on a strong note, and I totally get it because she's not a little kid anymore, and stuff. But it's like we grew to know her and see her grow, and it's like
I think that was part of her, like, because she's just like she's like a grown man in the way she's like I'm a badass. I kill people. And
exactly. She's not a lady.
So if you look at it, she was like, take off your clothes. She was like, she basically,
I'm not the red woman. Take off your pants.
So she was in full control of that. And if you look, so this made me laugh. And in the scene after they had sex, they didn't show it. But they go back to there, and the guy's asleep, and she's sitting there with her eyes open.
Oh my God! I bet you were like, "Is that how it's supposed to go?"
I was cracking up,
dude. I give it like less than 2 minutes.
It looked like she was sitting there like, really? Like,
exactly, exactly.
What's the big deal?
No, I'm proud of my girl. I'm glad she got some, because technically, think about it. You don't know if you're going to survive the next day. She didn't want to die a virgin and not know, and she had a crush on this guy. I give her props for just making that first move. He wasn't going to do it.
So they can put that. I mean, actually, they can. It's their show. They can do whatever the hell they want with it. But they could have put that in, like, and could have been inferred that they had sex without her showing undress. I was like, oh, that's uncool.
No. Here's the thing.
She's a little kid.
You can show the undressing. I didn't need to see her butt crack or the side boob. It could have just been like a bare back kind of thing. I would have been okay with that. The side boob, because it was really close.
I think the whole point of that shot was like, I know you think this is a little kid, but she's got boobs. Trust us.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that.
And also, so that entire episode. And I get what they were trying to do. It's the army of the dead, and it's supposed to be all dark, but you couldn't see shit.
Yeah, you couldn't see shit. It was really hard
to
watch.
Did thing. Like,
did you see that someone actually took frame for frame and lightened it up from Photoshop just so you could see? Yeah.
Well, that's dumb.
I mean, it was really good for setting the mood, but it was really hard to figure out what the fuck was going on.
You gotta look at different people's TVs have different, contrasts and stuff like that. If they would have made it, and I think when the Blu-ray comes out, they might lighten that up a little bit. That might be
they probably will, because they got so much shit about it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It was just so intense. Like, I don't mind being intense, but that whole hour and a half was just so. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Like,
but you know what? Though?
Is Grey Worm gonna survive? Oh, what happened to Ghost? Ghost charged in. What did he die too?
They never said. They never said. So
I hope not. He lasted this long.
You probably find out in the next episode. He'll probably be back. But one of the things I like about Game of Thrones is that they really.
Boobs.
Well, no, it's good, but they really. Kind of like there's all this stuff written about it. Like the fanboys like, well, we don't like this and we don't like that. And they're like, we don't give a shit.
Yeah,
we're going to do it the way we like.
Exactly.
And watch it, don't watch it, we don't care. Like, shit.
And that's why I like their after show, because it does give a little bit more explanation that maybe you weren't sure why they did it, and they kind of explain why. And it's like,
interesting side note. One of my good friends, IB Ibrahim, was he travels all over the world, and he was in Belfast, Ireland. And walked into a pub, and the entire cast from Game of Thrones was in there.
Wow!
And he ended up drinking shit with them all night.
Wow!
Oh, that's does he have pictures, or it didn't happen?
He did have some pictures, but
and then
apparently they asked him not to show a bunch of pictures, and he's a very honorable Marine Army guy.
I was gonna say that Macy Williams smacked it out of his hand and went full
that
throttle.
That was for you, not for anyone else.
No, that's actually a pretty cool story, because this cast will never be together again. They're not going to do.
Who's your favorite character? Like, besides Arya, because Arya's a badass.
I like Dany just because you see the growth of her. Like, she's just, a sister that kind of took the back seat because her brother was just like, I'm going to be, he's just an asshole. Then she goes through this torment of, like being kind of sold off to this marriage she didn't want to do. And you see her progress as a character and get stronger and stronger and stronger. And now it's like, no one's taking this from me. So I can relate to that.
You notice, though, that she's kind of an asshole, too.
Well, she has to be, because when she wasn't, that's when she would get thrown to the side, be fully taken advantage of. No one took her seriously. So she has to be that. So
my favorite character is, I think his name was Torvald, the guy with the big red beard. And,
oh, God. Is the big woman still?
Is the big woman still here? Yeah.
Okay. Not this past week. I did cry. Yes, I did. When they finally knighted
Lady Brienne.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
And
Brienne
that smile on her face was just like, she at first she's like, I didn't want to be a knight. She wanted to. And Jamie's like, I owe this to her.
Torvald wants to hit that.
Oh, he's like, is the big woman still here?
The big woman still here?
Oh my God. You know what? That's okay. Main characters, Danny. If I had to pick a wild card character or side character, he would be my next one.
I do not like Jon Snow.
I'm not a fan of him either.
He's too brooding. Somebody should kick Bran Stark in the face. I'm glad he got pushed out the window.
Oh, come on.
He's annoying. He's annoying.
Can you blame him, though?
Well, at some point, I don't even know what his powers are supposed to be. He can see through the eyes of a crow.
A raven.
But what does that do?
I think he could also kind of see the future.
Yeah.
Danny? Well, then tell us what the fuck's going to happen.
I don't think. Well, think about it. Maybe it's kind of like Doctor Strange. He can't tell you.
He can't tell you because then you're going to change it.
It's going to happen. Remember, 1 of 14 million.
It's got to change. It's got to happen just right.
But getting off of Game of Thrones back to Marvel, I think that now all of these movies, the next phase, they're going to suck because they've kind of finished out and they did real good with Endgame. And now they're just going to be like, all right, now let's just throw a bunch of shit at them.
I think they're going to take hiatus and they're going to, the reason why I'm saying that is because look what happened with Star Wars. They understand what they did. They pushed it too fast. Yeah. That's why we're making the last one. So I think the next phase is not going to happen. We're going to have another Captain Marvel. We have SpiderMan.
Well, and I found it. So you know how they put out the little picture of the next phase?
I saw that. I don't know.
I found out that's fake.
Yeah, no, it's not real.
It's fans.
No,
doing
yeah,
shit.
exactly. It's not real. I
thought it was really interesting that Endgame and the final big battle of Game of Thrones kind of happened to land on the same weekend.
And that's all people were talking about. It was a
very action-packed weekend, and I feel sorry if anyone had a birthday party going on that weekend and no one showed up. I would have felt really bad. But well, okay. Here's a fun fact. I had inventory at work that Friday, and I was mad that our work scheduled Endgame that Friday. So I told my boss, I go, look, I got to leave on time. I got to watch this movie. I came back to work around 6. We didn't leave till 9:30. So I was like, look, I got to go watch this. You guys can't stop me from this.
Okay, but so where you work, all those comic book people and gamers,
they
and stuff,
understand.
It's got to be a big buzz in there.
That's all we've been taught. But there are some people that still haven't watched it yet. So I'm really trying hard not to spoil it. But at the same time, fuck you. You should have gone the opening weekend.
So there are people, because some people are saying on say Facebook, they want to talk about it, but some people, oh no, don't say anything. It's like, what, fuck you. Go watch the movie.
Well, here's the thing. For a movie, I'll give it that weekend. I won't, if it comes out Thursday, I will not discuss it until Monday. I'll give it a few days.
I didn't discuss it I didn't say anything about it on Facebook with anybody because I knew we were going to come in here and talk about it.
We gave it a week. I think we're doing good.
I think we did.
I think like you mentioned, the whole world watch it. I think we're good. There are a few people that still haven't watched it. Sorry, not sorry. We got to discuss it. If you haven't watched it during maybe some circumstance, whether it's financial or just time, you will watch it. But But like Game of Thrones, you have to give 24 hours. That's a little different,
Well, you can watch. You can watch Game of Thrones at any time. If you miss it on Sunday night, you can just go back and watch it.
You can just go back and watch it or whatever. So you know what? It was a good weekend. We had action-packed movies. We had now, Sunday. We have another Game of Thrones. Now people are, once we get to that 6th episode though.
And Veep. Do you guys watch Veep?
No, I don't watch Veep.
I tried a couple episodes. I couldn't really get into it.
Watch it from the beginning, from season 1. It's hilarious. It's hilarious.
I kept watching the Michael Jackson thing though on HBO. I'm sorry, there really isn't anything. Oh, but the new new stuff came on Netflix, including the Ted Bundy with Zac Efron as Ted Bundy. I think came out.
Zac Efron?
Yeah, as Ted Bundy. He looks kind of like him. It's really weird. So I might watch that this weekend. Definitely not watching Endgame again. I'm good. That was 9 hours of Marvel.
I will watch it again. But it'll probably be like midday if I'm not
in
working.
The comfort of my home.
Yes.
I'm not going to the theater. By the way, the AMC thing still kicks ass. I love that thing. Side note, I don't know if Paul heard me. I watched the new Hellboy.
You said it was a disaster.
It was hot garbage. Let me just say this. I like the character design, and this Hellboy does reflect more of the comics than the originals. I still love the originals. It's not as cartoony. Horrific CGI. Horrific prosthetics. It was gross. And the storyline, can I just say this? I am a huge fan of Sword in the Stone, King Arthur, Merlin. Apparently, did y'all know that Hellboy is related to King Arthur?
No.
That was a plot line.
Wow.
Yeah, it was very unoriginal, very stupid.
That's the thing. Why remake all this stuff? Like,
I understand
do
if
something new.
Well, here's the thing. You can take the comic and because the original Hellboys, they were good, but if you look at this Hellboy with the language and just it's a little bit darker, it does match the comic. So I get that. But come on, dude. You don't have to. Everyone's making. God, we had that King Arthur movie, that little kid King Arthur movie that came out a few months ago, went on DVD like the next month. It's like, lay off the King Arthur plot line. Think of something different.
It's done, yeah.
And there was a character, the girl who played Alice annoyed me. But there was a cool scene in there. Whenever it comes on DVD, I'll have to show you. It's really kind of creepy. I really enjoyed it. But no, I would not buy this on Blu-ray. And that's how strongly I feel about it.
I think also, was it Dark Phoenix? I think that's going to be terrible.
I'm still going to watch it, but I agree.
I haven't seen the trailer.
You know what's going to happen? I bet you the people, it's like, you know what? We should have just waited for Disney to purchase this.
Did you hear that your boyfriend, Jason Momoa, they're remaking The Crow, and he's going to be the Crow?
Oh, God.
Really?
Yeah. The Crow, which to me is the best superhero movie
that's
ever
a very,
made.
Should be Bran Stark. Should be
dude,
the Crow.
no, that's a very...
it's bad.
That's a very sacred
It's
movie.
bad for him, too. He's doing too many of those movies. Like, why don't you try to do a little something outside of your...
I didn't hear about that. I mean, it'll be interesting to see the previews, but I'm sorry, Brandon Lee, the first one. I don't even recognize the second or the third one.
I never watched the second or the third one.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's sacred ground to me because it's like,
it's the
shit.
Yeah.
I mean, the way it was done and the way he died, it's like you can't touch that again. You know, you can't do that.
Ooh, maybe Jason Momoa will die in the
no,
the curse of the Crow.
I think
that will be rid of him.
It is a.
He just seems like the coolest dude. I'm sorry.
He seems annoying to me, just like Chris Pratt, and it's a sad
Chris Pratt is great.
It's
you
a
shut
sad
your
state
mouth.
of affairs. Where
You shut your mouth, Drax. Okay.
One of the biggest things on the internet in the last 3 years was because Jason Momoa shaved his beard. Who gives a shit?
Oh, I don't care.
Like he shaved his beard and everybody, and there were
just don't
women,
cut your hair.
There were women crying. I was like, seriously?
Okay. Don't blame him for that. Blame the women for being that psycho.
That's very true.
You can't be mad at him because
calm your
he's
tits,
just,
ladies.
Calm
your
tits,
fucking
ladies. Tits. I'm for real.
And by the way, your guys' hero Chris Pratt, you do know that he's like Mr. Religious zealot.
Yeah.
He's very into his faith. I'm not knocking it. You know, hey, whatever, dude.
But you don't do that on when you're accepting an award on Nickelodeon.
Do what?
He started giving a speech about God to a bunch of little kids. It's like, dude,
that was on Nickelodeon.
Maybe,
yeah, it's like, dude, kill yourself.
Well, maybe he's just trying to be a good influence.
I hope the slime is poison and you die.
Wow.
He's just trying to make a difference. He's trying to use his faith for his fame for something good.
Okay, revelations about Endgame. We all liked it.
I know Eric he says he likes it. I'm sorry with you, Paul.
I'm with Eric. I thought the beginning was really, really good, and as it went on, it kind of became just like sort of the usual Marvel.
It became a real movie.
Well, it was different.
It started
elements.
out as a real movie.
I mean, it's kind of like it started off very somber. It's like, what are we going to do? And when did Thanos become a farmer? Like, you know. I give credit. I liked it, and I still think the battle scene, it was just beautifully done. Like the art on it, like there's this one shot, whenever it comes out on Blu-ray, I just want to take a snapshot of it. It would make great art piece. Like it looks, I actually have a shirt, I'll wear it next time, where it's, you know how they're both coming together? I have that shirt in the comic form wrapped around about like 5 years ago.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's kind of like that shot was the cynical portrait of the comic of that final scene. So I guess that's why I really like it.
For me, the revelation is that I teared up when Scott Lang first sees his daughter.
Yeah.
And the scene when Captain America picked up the hammer, I geeked out like everybody else.
Everyone lost their shit. That was the moment.
But cool. and they did it perfectly because you don't see, it's just a hand picking it up, and then you see it's him. But what's cool is that Thor goes, I knew it. Because also the cool thing was when he went back in time and he got his hammer, where he knew he was still worthy, because, you know, he's going, you know, he killed Thanos. He's like, he felt bad for that, because what if he messed something up that could have given him the answer? And he finally, you know, it's a beautiful wrap up. Let's just say this. There are flaws, like every movie, there's flaws. I just thought for Final Avengers was beautifully done. I think that they did this well. They shouldn't have brought in all these fucking so-called superheroes to fight in the final scene. But I do like what they did with the main ones, like say Black Panther. They gave Black Panther a quick scene. He beat the shit out of somebody, and then he's like, "Give me the glove," and then they let it go. Just so like, okay, yeah, he's back. So be ready for the next movie with him. Yeah, you know. And then they did the same thing with Wasp, like, okay, she's here. Be ready for, you know, Ant-Man and the Wasp Part 2 or 3 or whatever the hell it is. I thought they did that cool. They didn't go into too much. Same thing with Sam. And they're like, yeah, he'll be in the next Avengers. You know, so will War Machine. They'll be
we know Guardians is coming back.
We know Guardians come back. Yeah.
Yeah. No. And you know what? Like. Yeah, I think the reason why they did that, because when everyone disappeared, we all left with a sense of what happened. So that's why they had to make it big. Now, like, it's okay.
There's one thing they did I thought was kind of fucked up. So what's up? The end of the movie is Tony Stark's funeral.
Yes.
And everybody's there and everybody's sad and it's all about Tony. There was no funeral for Black Widow. They're just like, whatever.
Well, so the only people that knew about it were the initial Avengers. Yeah. And there's nothing. And at that point, I don't think there was time to do that, because now it's like, what are we going to do? Like, you know, I think if it was maybe a little, well, I think her funeral was Hawkeye and Scarlet Witch talking about her. I think that was like a homage, you know.
I thought it was kind of weird that they didn't bring Vision into this one.
What happened to Vision?
Vision died.
Well, he died in the first. He was dead.
Remember,
he wasn't disappeared. He just
remember, that's before
smushed.
Thanos snapped his fingers.
Yeah.
So he can't come back.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's like with Gamora. Gamora can't come back, and that's like with Scarlet Witch. She can come back. So when she hit that past window or forward window, it's like you're done.
I don't remember. Was she at the end when they're on the ship? Was she there?
No, that's what I was saying. Okay. So. I think what happened, I didn't notice this. So after Tony Stark snapped his fingers when Thanos and his crew like turned to dust, it's like, okay, where's Gamora? Because we didn't see her at the funeral. And at the end, you saw, Chris Pratt searching for her. So remember, that was past Gamora. Yeah. That was the part of his crew. I'm thinking I don't think she like disintegrated, or if she did, I think she is going to come back somehow. Because there is going to be another Guardians, and you need Gamora for that. Yeah. But then I think they're going to pop in new characters, like Angela is probably going to be in it because there's more Guardian characters. I think Thor's going to tag along, because I want to say Loki's dead, but I think there's more to it. Yeah. And then, you know.
Well, no, actually, so I don't think Loki is dead, because if you saw the way
he disappeared with the Tesseract.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think they're probably going to do something with that.
Right. Probably with the TV show they're going to make for him.
Did you notice at the end when, at the funeral, everybody was in a suit or a black suit or a black dress, where Groot and
the
Rocket,
Guardians.
Yeah. Were they in tuxedos?
No.
Or were they in suits?
No, they were. Well, that's the same with
Rocket
with Mantis.
Tuxedo would have been adorable. That's a missed opportunity.
Just have a bow. No, I'm like Mantis, like Drax, Mantis. I don't think any of the Guardians characters were in like black, you know.
Okay, yeah.
I don't think they were. Although Captain Marvel's like she looked nice in that, you know, that pantsuit. Like she looked sharp.
She's hot. I like her.
Yeah.
I like her attitude. I'm like Thor. I like this one.
Yeah, but no, you know what? I'm not going to say. I'll be honest with you. My top comic movies so far, like Shazam, is up there. I still enjoyed Shazam.
I still haven't seen that.
I think
I can't bring myself because I read about it, and so they all turn into Shazam at the end of the movie. All the kids get superpowers.
That's how the comic is.
Blah.
They're his brothers and sisters.
And Superman's in it.
Technically, yes and no. Let me just say this. I don't want to spoil any. I just want you to watch it so we can talk about it.
Sharkzam.
Yeah, you said you were going to watch it. You never did.
I never got a chance to. Yeah, I never got a chance to because at the end of the day, when I'm supposed to be going home, I end up going to the damn border.
I still think there's some sort of shenanigans going on between you and the border.
Could be some shenanigans.
Like I'm at the border, and then I have to go to the airport to drop this pallet off.
The pallet, quote unquote.
The pallet.
You never.
Hey,
know.
I mean,
hey, you want to go to Japan or not?
I do. Hey, if you're going to pay for it, I'm not going to question your antics. If you're going to pay for if you're like Amy, I'll pay for your ticket.
You might have to stick a little something up your butt to get there, but the price of admission.
You're lucky I have enough room up there, so we can.
And Deadpool 2, they call it the prison wallet.
I will get an enema, and
Shark's like, I got your ticket, but you got to swallow this baggie.
Oh God, I don't want to go through customs like that.
Don't bite on it.
Don't you know the Japanese have fancy technology, and I don't want to get.
They know everything.
That's what I'm saying.
Like have you ever seen like a video of like the technology they have just like in a mall in like Korea?
It's beautiful.
It's crazy.
It's beautiful.
It's like we don't have anything like it.
Anyway, all right. I know we're gonna wrap it up. Hey, 3-hour movie turns into a 3-hour review, but I enjoyed it. I think it's definitely, if you're going to watch it in the theater.
It's the best
beautiful.
Marvel movie so far.
I did watch it in 3D and regular. To be honest with you, 3D doesn't make a difference. Just go watch it regular.
It seldom does.
I don't watch any movie in 3D.
Well, I like to there are some movies like SpiderMan Into the Spider-Verse in 3D.
Cool. Yeah.
That actually was really cool.
I could not have watched that in 3D because there's just too much going on.
We did talk about this. It did hurt at first, like the colors, but you adjust to it pretty fast.
Yeah.
And it looks really good. I'm just saying, if between the two options, if you want to, that's cool. No big difference. I suggest go and watch it in theaters. Enjoy it. Pee beforehand. It doesn't feel like a 3-hour movie, but it is a long movie. So.
I actually did get up and go pee. I was like, I can't hold it anymore. I got to go. But
how much beer did you have before?
Nothing. You know what? I actually got up and saw it at like 9 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday because
you were still drunk for the night before.
Pretty much hungover.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
That's why I enjoyed it so much.
I thought it was good. I thought it was the best one they did so far. Like I said, you could have taken the superhero part out of it, and you could have still done that movie.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought they did a really good movie, and just everybody played their parts pretty well. Even though Tony Stark is always Tony Stark, Steve Rogers is always Steve Rogers. I'm
gonna miss my Tony Stark.
I'm not. He's a jackass.
I think
he's the most entertaining part of those movies for me.
I'm wondering what they're going to do, though, because one of the main things with that is that Captain America was kind of the tactical leader, but Tony Stark was the genius that built all the weapons and paid for everything.
Well, remember, we still have Bruce Banner, so he does have some smarts. He doesn't have the money or the technology, but I think they can still make it work.
I'm sure Tony left all the money to all of them, and they'll be fine.
No, Gwyneth Paltrow is going to put it into goop, and they won't see any of it.
Pepper Potts. It's like just the name.
His name's Howard. My name's Howard Potts.
Yeah. Bangs. And, did you notice this? That so when Tony Stark, when he went back and he's actually talking to his father, that his father's driver was named Jarvis. And,
I heard the theater go, oh, that's Jarvis.
Yeah, that's Jarvis.
I'm like, and then his voice is like, I don't know, sir.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like that's fucking Jarvis.
Yeah, that was a cool little Easter egg or whatever.
I think the best part of the movie was little tidbits that, you know what, there's something chemically beautiful about this movie that it's like, okay, now I need to go watch the past movies. And that's what I've been doing. And it's like, oh yeah, I totally forgot about that. And And you know what? It's a run down memory lane, but then it also makes you realize how far Marvel's come with making movies because it's gotten so much better.
You know who else besides Stan Lee doesn't get enough credit is Jon Favreau. He started the whole damn thing.
Well, and he's also he's the producer. Same with James Gunn.
Yeah, and
they're both producers.
The original the Iron Man movie was a damn good movie.
It was.
I just need to watch it again. Yeah, for sure.
Favreau got his little cameo thing at the end. In this
one.
Oh, cheese. What do you want? Cheeseburgers? Your dad liked cheeseburgers. No, I want a cheeseburger. It's just like Samuel. Wait a minute. Everything is a homage to Pulp Fiction because, that one scene in Pulp Fiction where
Morgan in Holland, they call it Royale with cheese.
Yeah.
I'm just saying anything with a cheeseburger or a shake. Samuel Jackson just needs to make a Carl's Jr. commercial. Him as the character from Pulp Fiction eating a fucking
Fuck
cheese.
you, I'm eating.
It's like, this is a tasty burger. Do you mind if I take some of your Sprite and wash it down? I'm like, I wasn't hungry, but now I want a burger. Literally at the end of that. So
I'm sorry. No.
Yes.
The greatest, and I'm, again, completely off the subject, but the greatest line in Pulp Fiction, he goes, well, I wouldn't go so far as to call him fat. I mean, the nigga small. What's he going to do? That's my favorite line in that movie.
I given every woman a massage and it meant a thing. I can't do it like, it's like a foot massage. It's like, I rub the toes, shit, everything. Yeah. I get down in that shit.
I'm the foot fucking master. All right.
Yeah. So, Paul, what you heard me and Shark's thoughts because we keep rambling. What about you? Like, what's your final thoughts?
I liked it. I liked it. It was kind of with Eric. I thought it started out really strong and then kind of went.
Predictable route, maybe.
A little predictable. I really liked it overall. Just the whole scene at the end was like, it had. I feel like whatever they did, they had to do it. Yeah. The whole big battle scene at the end with everybody like in the kitchen sink back in there. It's fine.
And I can honestly say I'm glad it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? It's kind of like
I'm gonna miss Iron Man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. You know what it is? It's like I like when Marvel movies would release maybe once a year, but now we have 4 movies a year now, so it's like Marvel everything, right? So I think that's what I'm saying. I think they're gonna take a step back and just kind of reevaluate.
Hopefully, if they're not trying to make another mega 25-part series,
just
movie, if they can just take the time to take each one of the movie and develop it a little bit more as a standalone thing without it necessarily being a cog in the next gear and the whole big.
There's another little Easter egg too. If you go back and watch all the movies that are actually the Avengers, not like Captain America or Iron Man,
right? The Avengers like Age of Ultron,
stuff all like that. In each one of those movies, someone mentions what's the end game.
Really?
Somebody always says, "Well, what's the end game with this?"
Oh, I didn't know that. But you know what, though? I kind of wish they did a homage. Remember the first one where they're all in the diner, it's blown up and they're eating?
Yeah.
Shawarma.
I kind of wish they did something because that was the start of it.
Yeah.
They kind of do. I mean, I understand Tony Stark's dead. I get it. They probably can do it.
Or when Favreau was asking Morgan what her favorite food is, she should have been like, shawarma.
That would have been too obvious, but that would have been cute, But so here's my prediction. So Disney's going to have to focus onto their Netflix service. So I think they're going to start focusing more on those Marvel TV shows because it could lead to a Marvel movie that may be released. I think what's going to happen is they'll eventually get maybe another Captain Marvel because that's easy stuff, like you can do. But before we open a new chapter, I think those episodes for those new Marvel shows might open something a couple years down the road.
Yeah.
So that's my prediction.
The only ones I know for sure that are like already in production are Black Panther 2.
Are they in production now?
Well, they have a script.
Okay.
They have a script and a director. And then,
Guardians 3.
Guardians 3 and the Black Widow movie. So because is
there going to be a Black Widow movie?
Yeah, she already talked about that they already have the script and they're getting ready to do it.
That's going to be really weird.
It's going to be a prequel it has to be, I guess, but it's
going to have to be on their Netflix probably channel because I don't see that going in theaters.
They already did a Black Widow movie. It was called Lucy. And she did that.
Oh my God. Okay. Well,
all
anyway,
right,
I think we talked about our next. I still think we should do Game of Thrones maybe until Godzilla comes out. If you guys want to review that.
Yeah.
And until then, just have a good weekend. Watch Game of Thrones. Watch Avengers if you haven't. I do recommend watching it a second time, though, because I did miss some things.
And if anyone from DC is listening, trust me, James Brolin, Batman, it works.
DC, just keep doing what you're doing with Shazam. Please let Joker be a good movie. And please don't fuck up Birds of Prey.
Wow, I forgot about Joker. Yeah.
Please don't fuck up Birds of Prey either. Because I know they wrapped that.
I think that's going to be stupid.
I have hope. Oh, by the way, rest in peace, Peter Mathau. Chewbacca.
Oh, yeah, Chewbacca. Yeah.
Oh, really quick. So I will be in Star Wars Land on June 7th. I got reservations for that.
What is Star Wars? Oh, that's Disneyland?
Galaxy's Edge. So for you to actually get in for the first month, you have to have reservations. So I'm only going to be in that portion of the park for 4 hours.
Isn't that long enough with the
it totally is. No, honestly, because, the ride, there's only one ride open. And then the other one will open later this year. One of the rides is 30 minutes long. I don't know which one it is.
You're going to be miserable.
I am.
There's going to be 18,000 geeks there.
Okay.
And they're going to be getting on your nerves. They're going to be talking to some 30-year-old dude asking him what time his mother dropped him off at the park.
Okay, wait. Let me back up the truck. I will be there opening day. I'm not going in that portion of the park, but Disney California Adventure might be empty, and that's where the Marvel section is. So I kind of want to,
there you go.
Kind of see what's going on there. Remember, and for you to even get in that portion of the park, you need a reservation.
Does Disneyland still have the Michael Jackson Captain EO?
No, that's gone. That's been gone. I kind of wish they brought that back, though.
All righty, kids.
All right, I'm sorry. I went on a Star Wars tangent. Anyway, have a good night, guys.
We'll catch you next time.
Thanks for listening. Peace.
And Amy.
And Amy.